You are now entering Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast hosted by a Spanish soccer mom, a 30-year-old silver-haired fox going on 60, and finally, a 200-pound bowl of spaghetti with chimichanga arms.
The champions, we are the champions.
Corey, do it.
Okay.
Well, I guess not.
I can't hear the audio, Paco. You got to cue me in. I didn't hear.
That's why I said.
Okay.
Oh.
Okay, 3, 2, and 1. Go, Corey.
All right, guys. See, the reason why we did that is because usually when we go live, guys, somebody will in the comment section be like, "Oh, shit doesn't start till 10:35." Well, now the real art intro starts right now. So, guys, welcome to Maximum Driftcast, the only drifting podcast that fucking eats hot dogs, corn dogs, yogurt, baby carrots with ranch dressing, salad. We try to put the food in our body that gives us the most upset stomach, and that's why we eat the nastiest 5-layer burritos from Taco Bell.
Wow.
I feel really good about that. That was good. I feel energized. I was low energy before, and now I feel ready for the day and for the show.
So now that we have a 120 stream for you guys that are audio listeners on, we got 120p stream. Paco is working on his internet. We have 300 for all you computer nerds out there. We have 350 megs down and about 3 megs up. So things are
10.
hot and hot and hot, just like what we experienced out in Atlanta last weekend.
The 28.8 modems buzzing, as is the drift fans from this exciting Atlanta show.
Hey.
Right? This isn't me. I don't know if I can do this whole like hype thing about talking like that about drifting. Now, Corey, you watched the show at your brother's wedding, and I want to get down to brass fucking tacks here. You're the best man.
Yep.
And right as the bride was saying, "I do," you said what?
I said I have to go too. I have to go as well.
Yeah, you have to
I
go
do too.
to. Yeah, I do too. And then you're saying I do too because you were
I
watching.
agreed with the judges.
Yes, exactly.
On the qualifying runs.
And that's a story about how you accidentally married your brother's ex-fiance.
Yeah.
Yeah, and now you're married to your brother's wife, which is unfortunate for your brother, I guess, but cool for you because now you have all them perks of marriage, right?
See, you know what I mean? It's just benefits, healthcare, all that good shit that comes with marriage. I got it now because I agreed with the judges on one of their calls. I do. Yeah, I totally agree. And Here we are.
Now, do you want to get knit grit on this round before we bring in our guest, or where do you want to go?
Well, first of all, I think we should discuss that it's awesome to have drifting back
Yes.
on a professional level. I think having Atlanta, a lot of the questions, if we go back to the previous episode, is what was going to be the outcome of the first round actually not being Long Beach for once in a long time, right? Which a lot of people entered the competition more confident, comfortable, because they weren't taking a brand new car and slinging it between basically 2 concrete hallways at 100 miles an hour.
The old hot dog in the hallway conundrum.
There's a lot was shaken up. My picks, Odie was kind of like my wild card. My other guys didn't make it. The top 16, top 32 threw a lot of people off. Osbo breaking. I think Jeff Jones shocked a lot of people.
Forsberg out. Turk out. Falcon had a wonderful. Oh, spoilers, by the way. If you guys haven't watched the round, shoot.
If you haven't watched the round over a week, then we're going to give you spoilers. So,
yeah,
sorry, not sorry.
Vaughn was like pretty much one of the only old guard to make it to top 4, but then he DB'd a tire, which was such a bummer. But he was still shredding on a one wheel peeler going up that hill, but it wasn't enough to hold it down. And thankfully, that was one of those moments where it's like, remember that bad season where you automatically zeroed the run when you lost a tire? Like, even though he lost, in this case, it still feels good that he wasn't just like auto out. And thankfully it was in the second half of the battle, because if you do lose a tire in the first half of the battle, you are still not allowed to put it back on, I think, right, guys? Corey, Paco?
Yeah. It's I there's like a little like if it's like for example, if there's contact and that's what causes a tire debeating, yes, you can. But if it's just like it naturally comes off, you can't use a timeout to get a tire back.
And I feel like I didn't time the runs, but I feel like it is so much faster from start to finish now. These cars are just so wildly fast. And this seeing that big long sweeper going up the hill before you went to the pee hole, as Paco likes to call it. I feel like that was donking a bunch of drivers, a bunch of the less experienced guys, but still doing an awesome job. Like, what was up with Fede? Because he was our boy. He went into the round with so much energy, and he was looking good. But I feel like his car, even though it is probably 300 to 500 horsepower less than everyone else's, I feel like he showed like he had even less horsepower.
I think. Well, I think he's on nitrous, NA, but nitrous, and
Yeah, but still, like
I also
that's,
think
that's,
there was a little bit of like.
But he
it's
was
been-
on nitrous at the end of his previous year too.
Well, he was calling it version 3. So we have to
Yeah.
get him back on the show to ask what all the new improvements. But
He just said lighter weight.
I also
right?
think it has
Lighter
a lot
weight, and
to.
It's him.
Yeah, it has a lot to do with like last year he didn't compete. Kind of like getting.
he did
back
look
to-
better than ever though, which is nice.
Yes.
But I noticed he struggled around that corner. There's someone that might be on the show in a minute, Adam LZ, who either nailed that corner or went way over. And then like I feel like a lot of people were having trouble coming up the hill there. But then with this round was so incredible because we saw awesome showings by Jeffrey Jonesy, and he took out Osbo, which was wild. We saw Yves Meyer in the M2 shredding, take out Turk, took out Essa. And yeah, there was a lot of cool, unpredictable
Yeah.
battles in this. Or I shouldn't say unpredictable, it just didn't come out the way that the expected way would be.
Yeah.
Well, you could even go back a little bit further than that and talk about the qualifying format. What did you think of the new qualifying format?
I loved it. I felt really good. After I rudely interrupted Ryan Sage trying to explain it when he came on the last show to accuse Dylan of not reading the rule book, which he didn't. It was cool. I like the fact that drivers still have to throw down 100% on that first run. You can't just like do a safe run right away because you can blow it. At the same time, though, like also because you can blow it and then you have to then battle to only get within the top 24 drivers, you still have to like be safe-ish. You can't go to 11 out of 10. You can't Chelsea Denofa that first run maybe you can because he's a great qualifier. But yeah, it's an interesting psychology. It speeds up qualifying, which I really enjoy. And that the last 8 battle felt much more impactful. And also, so previously we used to start at the bottom of the list and the 32 seed driver would go first. And then you could kind of feel like the judges' scores progressively got better throughout the day. And I was trying to think that if they reverse the order now, because the top of the list goes first, if their scores would also get better. But I think that the judges are still kind of like, I don't know, the scoring still felt a little bit maybe emotionally led based on who they were scoring.
I will say
would you-
Chelsea Denofa's first run was one that I thought was like judged awkwardly. Chelsea did not have the best first qualifying run, but they still
Right.
scored him like a mid 80s, which if you look at similar runs after that, they were definitely much lower. But Chelsea was obviously one of the first few to qualify that day. So I'm sure they're still trying to vibe out. All right, where's our scores going to be sitting
Yeah.
type of.
Yeah.
But I thought the qualifying went well. You know, JTP with a 95, he still qualified 25th, even though he should have been in a.
Yeah, like
In a better
JTP would have
spot.
been the highest qualifier, right? Did
Yeah,
someone else
I
get
think so.
95? But yeah, he was shredding.
The thing is, like, I get it because it's like, like, okay, can you put 2 qualifying runs that are awesome? Okay, yeah, like, go first. But since he got a 0 on his first run, it's like the penalty. Like, well, you got a 0, you can't make it to the first, even if you put a great run. So it's kind of like the explanation I see from JTP's run, which was great. I mean, it was definitely probably the best as usual because JTP always does like a very awesome initiation in Atlanta, but it just seemed like it makes sense, like there's no need to put more stress on the cars. You put a good score on your first run, that's it, no need for another run. You put a 0, then you get a chance to redeem yourself.
Well, even if you score like a 71 and that's out of top 24, then you still have to do another run.
What is
or
it?
if you have a mechanical failure,
what is
like
the point?
JTP.
Well, there's no point threshold, right? It's just like if you do 25 or less, or
You
right.
have to requalify to claim that spot.
Mhm.
Which
Or if you, yeah.
I just think it adds a new game to qualifying. Like now you have this game of like, oh, let's see who's gonna make it in
Yeah.
the top 25, and not how to have to run, and like the strategy from the drivers also. It seems to me like it's like there's a game of a mental game that they have to deal with in order to make it. It's a lot more stress. Like, oh, I got a 0 on the next one. I have to put on a number.
I like the fact that the biggest complaint that I personally had, that I think a lot of other people had with qualifying, is that it was long and it was boring. And now it's shorter and it's more exciting. So like it has solved those two major issues in my experience and opinion.
So,
and also, just a reminder, this is, if you are listening, watching live, you can super chat and make sure we read it, but or you can just make a really good comment, which Smiling Bastard in chat said. And he said, Corey, I love you, you overcooked fat fucking sausage.
Thank you.
Yeah, and also our man Iron Dookie. Iron Dookie is in here. Chris Forsberg put him in the hospital last week. Iron Duke, how you doing? Sorry, I wasn't able to bash him in the kneecap Tanya Harding style for you, but
he definitely did something to his car. He definitely lost right away.
Yeah,
wink, wink.
Sorry, Chris. I had to, but you know how it is. But thanks for the well wishes, everyone. Yeah, glad to hear you're doing all right, Dookie. And then look, let's talk about the finals a little bit. Matt Field versus Odie, and we're gonna still talk about the whole round when we get our special guest in here, but mostly about him, but some Atlanta, of course. But Matt versus Odie, kind of a weird final. Corey's looking and thinking.
I really thought it was gonna be Fields.
Yeah, well, there was some messiness to it, right? They went one more time because they both fucked up, which is not usually how you do a final in FD, but I think cars were a little bit beat in at that point and drivers were tired, and they're both absolute monster animals on the track, both Falcon drivers, both have driven together a lot. But yeah, there was a lot of weirdness in that final, I think.
One of the things, like in the final, usually, like when there's a race and they let the judges explain like why was it their decision. On the final race, in this case, like there was no explanation. Like they just straight up went to, Odie wins, and I was expecting to at least hear from Ryan what was the reason. Like, because in my eyes it looked like Field got it, but I don't know. Like I don't know what was the criteria. Like where was the fuck up? I know Odie was on fire. I mean, like, don't get me wrong, but
Field, I feel like, did a lot of straightening on his chase. From what I remember from it, like he was a little bit.
I think that was on this first run where they they went one more time. Yeah, because like he had it, like he killed it on the lead, and Odie was kind of like the back, kind of like on a deficit. But then Field kind of like did some straightening, and then they went one more time.
Yeah, I don't know. We'll call the judges. Can we, I think now that we have that ability, we just call FD staff whatever we feel like, and they come on the show.
Should.
Yeah, we should. Maybe that's a segment, and like we can call Lawnmower Man. Or we haven't had Chris, new judge Chris Ole. Is that how you say his name? Chris Hole.
Yule.
The Seahole. Yeah, we haven't had him on the show yet. I'd like to hear what the fuck he thinks he's doing up there. Open your eyes, Chris.
Actually, as a fact, he has.
Just kidding. I think you're doing great.
He has the most disagreements with Brian and Ryan. So
So he must be doing something right.
Yeah, exactly.
Right?
Exactly.
Corey,
Side note.
Yeah.
What do you guys think of all the new cars and old cars and the liveries and the cars running and not running? And
you might think that I am trying to butter up our boy here, but I think that our boy coming on the show in a minute, he's not my boy. I haven't birthed him, but our friend of the show is going to come on here momentarily, and I think he's got the best livery, and I like the simple liveries. I really like how Dye looks, just pretty much straight up blue.
Blue and
Turk
pink.
didn't do Turk's the opposite end red. He didn't do shit to his car. Laziness, Turk. So no big
still
deal
better
there.
than the meat car.
But there's also, I like the meat car. There's also the question of like last year was kind of a fake year, right? So it's like if you had a good livery last year, do you really change it up?
No, because nobody saw it.
Yeah,
I mean,
I like
even Vaughn. He won, and he just came back with the same livery.
It's not the same. It's mildly changed. I like Vaughn's livery. I think it looks great. Lindsay, the designer, that's
the thing. It was great last year, and like he said, if it's not broken, don't fix it. It's just that last year, since he was kind of like there wasn't like a lot of exposure, if you may. So might as well like re put it out there. Was that the Chrome?
Re-put it out there.
Re-put it.
Chrome is hot this year.
Yeah.
Radical Daniels Super is always one of my favorite liveries. I think that looks pretty
He
cool.
qualified like 10th.
Yeah, Radical Daniel
Like
slapped ass.
you could talk about this RB Jay-Z battle, but Rad Dan did a banger run.
Yep.
And then
Did
what
a
about
banger run.
what about the only RB and FD? How'd he do?
Let me look at the stats real quick. Hold on.
Mhm.
Paco had him on the podium. Do you remember
Yeah.
that?
Yeah.
Paco had him on the podium. Rad Dan qualified 6th, actually.
Yeah, that's
Nice.
wild.
So
And but before you came in before the show, Paco and I were talking about how we navigate this troubling time with the Jay-Z versus RB battle, and I was thinking that maybe we should do like a people's court where we have, because these guys are wild, they're at each other's throats, right? So we got to do maybe like a moderated courtroom type setting and let Radical Daniel, let our angry literal man and get them in here and let them, try to plead their cases. But we're going to be Judge Judy, Judge Mathis, Judge Dredd all at the same time and really regulate, okay? And there's no way I'm going to stoke some flames or make people angrier or more aggressive than they need to be in this situation. I would never do that. So we'll see.
Perfect.
Did you fart, Corey? Is that what that was?
I was just like
Is that your chair?
taking aside
Yeah.
because it's like, I'll be honest with you guys, the whole RB Jay-Z battle, like I thought it was like giggly, like, aha, look at their stabbing. And then it's like straight up posting pictures of each other's cars saying, look at this shit box, it blew up, or oh, where'd this thing?
Yeah.
And it's like, is it still fun? Are we still having fun, everybody?
I'm not
Like,
sure.
just a quick check. Is everybody still having fun?
Yeah, we'll see. I
Like,
guess.
I'm okay with it. If they want to go out there next, I'll sit back and watch.
Part of
But
me
is there I'll have fun. I'll have fun.
I want to
but-
strike while the iron is hot and see if we can get them on the show real soon. But I also want to give Literal a chance to run an FD round because he had car problems, which
Well,
lots
he's
of
not
people
doing
have.
Florida, from my understanding, so he'll be out for Florida.
Cool.
Oh boy, yeah.
And then I got to follow up with him. I gotta ask him, kind of see where he's at. But
Mhm.
I don't know. I don't know. It's a fun battle, right? Why don't we just solve it all on the track and stop? I don't know.
Yeah, or just all agree that SRs are the one true engine.
Whoa. Got him.
And then if we're talking liveries, my favorite livery would absolutely be, God, what was that Supra with the neon 2JZ powered, kind of
Looks
like
very
black
similar.
with like neon
Yeah.
tribal. Corey, do you remember
What's up?
the 2J powered car with the fluoro tribal over black?
The floral
Like neon?
tribal.
Fluoro, not floral. Flowery tribal sounds cool too,
Flowery tribal?
though. Like a
What,
high
Simon
vis
Olsen's?
tribal.
No,
Yeah.
like black
What do
and
you think of
neon.
that? What do you think of that livery?
You know what? I like the color variants. I like the shades of
Mm-hmm.
gray, the black, but also the lines coming up over the left and right side of the car with a couple different shades of gray as well as black.
Mhm.
It'd be something I'd really look forward to get soon, hopefully.
Yeah.
Hopefully
Chat,
I
I
can-
know, Chad, I know it was Olsen. I was doing a bit. But yeah, it's the same livery designer as Corey's boss.
I think
S14.
I think Gerald was calling him the Norwegian screwdriver
Why?
just because he was the other Norwegian, which I believe that's part of a joke we did with Asbo one time, but we were calling him the Swedish screwdriver.
I thought that Osbo was the Norwegian Hambler.
Yes.
Like
Hamburger
he's
helper.
he's a burger thief. No?
Yeah, basically.
Off the X mentioned Brandon Sorensen, which was absolutely, yeah. I mean, I expected him to do well, and he didn't get past Kearney in the 16, but he still, the way he drove, the hard charging and the accuracy and the cleanliness of it all was definitely pro level. So I'm excited to see where he's going to go.
He's sitting on 11th position right now. Obviously, a lot of people are in the same amount of points, but still over Chelsea and Dylan.
Yeah, fuck those guys.
Yeah, but I think he did good. Like, I mean, you can tell like there's still like some of the rookie element, which I think that's why like he was kind of like overcooking his initiations at some points. But I think it's just a matter of time until he just gets dialed and
Mhm.
he's definitely gonna be a tough contender.
Do you think that does he get arrested if he drinks the champagne on the podium? If he's in Atlanta, like we've had problems with the Atlanta track cops before. If he has that bottle of champagne, and if one drop hits his mouth, like Odie's up there, and Odie's like a known enabler, and he'll be up there, and he's just like, "Oh,
Oh,
congratulations,
just take a
Brandon!"
sip, man.
And then he's not gonna ask him. He's just gonna spray it right in
Spray
his
him right in
face,
his face.
just douche him with it, and then here comes those mounted, cool, big hat cop guys from Atlanta, and they're just gonna
Arrest him, give him a DUI on
Right on
the
the
spot.
spot.
yeah, and then he's going to be banned from FD. So I'm just saying, be careful, Brandon. You might not want to win in Atlanta or probably Florida. Actually, don't win in a lot of these states.
Yeah.
We'll
or
see.
I'm sure we can arrange and something and get some juice boxes for the podium
Oh
with everybody. Get some Capri Suns or
no, I'm gonna get that kid drunk
yeah,
legally.
drunk in excitement and
Corey, can you think
Yeah.
of any other hard hitters before we talk to our guest? And,
There's
and
a
we
lot.
can
There's a
continue the
lot. I'm
convo.
just
There's so
rolling-
much.
I'm
There's
just
so
rolling
much.
off of how you're navigating the ship here.
I mean, obviously
I'm not navigating shit. You
I mean-
navigate here.
Obviously, the thing to talk about that we could talk about for hours would be Jeff Jones finishing 4th,
Yes,
which obviously awesome job, definitely.
I think he should be our next guest.
His top
yeah.
16 intro was amazing.
yeah,
His interview with Lorette was amazing.
Yep.
Jeff Jones is
he's a
he
human
could
meme.
easily be a fan favorite. He could easily be a fan favorite. And we talked about Jeff Jones the previous episode, and it's like, Jeff just keeps his car the same and just makes a few changes to it, and he hops back in and drives. He never really does tons of shit in the off season. And it's like, did that work for him? Because he's literally driving
Absolutely.
the same car and everybody else is changing things. But then you put him in a top 16 intro and he's doing this beautiful dance, like a war dance. And it
He's
worked.
the people's champion right now, I think.
basically.
I think he is. I think he might be the people's champ right now.
He's also a walking meme, so it's just like he's right with the times. He's a TikTok master.
He was
Is-
one position away from taking his supercharger on the podium. Do you
Yep.
guys fucking realize
said
that?
it. He said it. And
Yeah.
that's all back from New Jersey, like 2017 or 18.
Yeah, he was so hyped to make it in a top 16 that if you guys were not there for that, he had the best FD interview ever with Lorette, and he was so jazzed. He was beyond himself, speaking very quickly, and he is like, oh yeah, we're gonna take my well shit, what's the supercharger brand? Edelbrock.
Yep.
I'm gonna take my Edelbrock right. We're gonna bring the Edelbrock to the podium, and then I think he was just trying to remember to say sponsors and get up to the podium. But in his fury of pure joy, he said he was gonna rip or implied that he was gonna rip off a supercharger and take it on the podium. And now he has to, and he will.
Yeah.
I wonder, and I think his team, if I do recall, do have a spare supercharger ready for that moment, and it's going to happen this year. I know it. Jeffrey Jonas and Jonas Brothers is going to make it onto the podium. I can feel it in my heart.
Yep.
Another random one, dude. Okay, I'm gonna say it. Matt Fields S14.
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
she's getting around. She's like the retax.
The-
S15.
He's like the
The town-
retax car.
It's a town bicycle.
It is. Everybody's riding it. Matsuyama came out and drove it. People drove it last year. Pat Gooden drove it. It is the bike right now. Everybody's riding Pat Gooden's old S14 that he drove for Matt Fields.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but
It was
Pat
funny because
drove it. He debuted it for a year.
It's funny
and then
because
got out of it. Just
it still has Fields livery. I mean, Pat Gooden's livery.
Gooden's livery.
we
With
were
just a couple
watching. It was
stickers
like,
on it.
is that Pat Gooding?
Pat Gooden's
Like,
back.
actually
I had my heart skipped a beat for a minute, and then I heard the empty Bud smoothies rolling around the floorboard. I'm like, that is Pat, but then it wasn't. But then that just means that Masayama has some B smoothies rolling around in there, some
So,
crushed can.
Twisted teeth.
No,
Matt
no.
says 14. Kidda says Matt says 14 sounds better than C6. I don't know about that. I think Matt C6 is one of the most developed cars right now and very capable. Obviously,
Yeah.
saw him
Yeah, he's in the finals.
in competition. Almost
Do you
winning the
think-
whole damn thing.
Do you think that if Vaughn's tire wouldn't have debeated, he would have beat Fields and Odie?
Why are they still running that low pressure? Like, or
That's the
why?
deal. I was trying to think of that. Is the Falcon RT 615K the oldest tire in FD right now? Not the
I don't
technology
know if
changes
they're
that
still
rapid.
running that. I don't know
Oh,
if they're
wait.
still running that tire.
Yeah, you're right. I think they have a new one. You're right. But yeah, I wonder. I wonder who's got the worst tire right now.
I'm going to say you have Federal involved, you have Nex involved, you don't have Achilles anymore. You have
Clearly, our show doesn't have a tire sponsor because we could talk about this freely. But
What's
who's-
interesting?
That's what I was
who's-
looking at. What's the best finishing Federal car? Is there a best? Who was the best finishing Federal car? It
it's
was weird
interesting-
seeing. It was weird seeing Castro with no title sponsor, but a Federal sticker over the rear.
Yeah, he had a big white door. And good on those drivers that still show up with a big clean door panel. Corey?
A lot.
No,
I would say like a lot of people's been talking, saying a lot of good things about that new GT radial tire. Apparently, it's like the next best thing. So
Yeah. Who is our highest GT boy out there?
Highest GT boy would probably Jeff Jones.
Yeah, Jay Jones.
There you go.
He proved it.
There you go.
Jeff Jones made it to 4th with the radial. Bada bang, bada boom. GT
Boom,
radial
boom,
stepping
boom.
up.
Yep.
No, but seriously, for what they're doing for Pro Spec and how much tire supplying GT Radial's doing, dude. Big shout out to those guys for keeping guys on track. Because honestly, I don't know what would happen if they weren't here.
Off
And
the
then
X in
Neto-
chat, who might be a verified liar or is telling the truth, has said 615Ks are rears and RT660 fronts. So yeah,
All right.
I believe him.
Cool.
I believe you, or else you wouldn't lie to me, would you? Off the X.
Chat confirmed.
Well, speaking about tires, do you want to maybe we have somebody here that knows a little bit about Neto?
Yeah.
Corey, I've been dying to get him in there.
You guys
Bring
want to
him
get
in.
some Neto questions? Let's see if we
Yeah.
can get some Netos. We have to ask about the cheater tire.
Yep.
All right. Let's see if we can figure this out. Let's see if
Let's figure it out. Let's figure it out
There
right
you
now.
go. Let's see. Oh, there he is.
Hello.
Hello.
Good day.
Am I here?
You're here.
Yeah, I Adam.
And now, honestly, we didn't want to say anything, but the chat has been listening to you in the waiting room the past half an hour with your headphones on.
Yep.
So
Forgot
anything
about-
you want to explain right now is now's the time.
Sorry, I had a wicko. We were watching you guys on the TV, and I was real confused as to what.
Yeah, I just heard my own shitty voice. That sucked.
Yeah, no, you guys definitely didn't hear what you're saying, because if you heard what you were saying, no one still be on the show. So
Ah,
What the fuck, dude?
sick burn, bro.
I was coming into this from a place of love, and you're already starting here. Wow. So I was being so chill that someone in chat called say stop. They said, "Sam, stop simping for Adam." Now, do you know what that means, Adam?
what?
Simping.
Simping.
It's like it's something to do with pimping, right?
Yeah.
Basically, whoring out Sam pretty much for a couple bucks.
Yeah.
That's what you
Yeah.
call when you have an OnlyFans, and like your fans, when they throw dollars at you, they automatically become your simps. So like we have an OnlyFans. I don't know about you, Adam.
Did you create it, Paco?
Yeah. It's live. It's there.
Oh, cool.
That's
cool.
We still have to fill it with hot and steamy content.
Okay.
It's coming
Good
soon.
to know.
Yeah.
Now, Adam, do you know what OnlyFans is?
Yeah.
What is it?
It's quiz time.
It's the website where the girls make a lot of money.
Yeah.
And boys, Adam.
And boys.
As your marketing firm, thank you for hiring us, by the way. We were actually, this is a closed board meeting and there's no one watching here. But baby, we got to hop on that OnlyFans, baby. You got to show them feet to the world. You've got cute tootsies and we've got to let the world see them for a lot of money. All right? Now, let me see those toes. No, don't give it away. Don't give it away. They are watching,
It'd
Adam.
be free. It'd be free. We can give it away for free.
No comment. All right, that's fair.
You lost me.
That's fine. That's fine. But now I am curious what sort of dirty words you were saying about your best friends, the Maximum Driftcast gang, before the show started.
Can we get a change on your background? I'm gonna see if I can show you. It is giving me the wildest inception because it's exactly what I am looking at.
Oh, Sam, your background.
Yeah, it's literally identical to where I'm sitting right now.
I can't even see the background. What is it?
Look at my
It is
phone. Look at my phone.
Literally, he is looking at.
That's so weird. Yeah,
Is that at
Corey.
your house, Sam? You told me that was your place, Sam.
Yeah, that's so weird. Like I'm sitting in. I just bought this cool condo in Florida. Is hold on. Put your right hand in the air.
Wow. Whoa.
He did his left hand. Fuck. Okay, never mind.
Got him.
All right. Yeah, I'll change it. Sorry, Adam. Hold on a sec. I don't know what happened there. It must have been a mistake.
That's actually that was actually Sam's wallpaper that just somehow ended up making it his background. So apologize about that, Adam.
Yeah, no worries.
Yeah,
Sam,
I
It
apologize.
happens
For
all
that.
the time.
we told him to hold it back today, and Sam was just like, "No, we should really have Adam on today because I just really want to check up on him." And we were like, "Okay, fine, Sam. Here's your chance." He was actually really concerned about you at FD. We ended up meeting up with Sam, and he has basically all the merch. I think this might be a publicity stunt for Sam to get closer to you. So if you feel at any point Sam's getting too close, you could just shove him away, and just let him know that you need distance.
Yeah, that's fair. While I look for this background, I guess let's start talking about drifting if
talk
you
about
want. We don't have to.
Adam, you finished
Yeah.
8th,
Yeah.
Yeah.
67
Do you-
points, only 33 points behind Odie Bakshis. How are you feeling?
And
yeah.
lost to the winner of the round, which is not a bad way to go out.
Yeah.
That's true, Sam. That's a good point.
I mean,
Are you saying
I'm,
that? Go ahead.
I'm happy. Like, I think it's a great way to start the season. I think I definitely could have done better, but coming from last year and a lot of the speed bumps and hurdles, we kept the car together. The car ran great. I felt good, and top 8 is awesome.
Do you feel that you do better in competition than qualifying? What happened that first run? Is it just something with car too tight, or what was going on through qualifying?
In practice, I was just entering really shallow and playing it really safe, and I was operating under the assumption that with the new way that they're judging qualifying, that even if I did my exact same practice run, that my entry would dock me enough points to put me in that top field anyway.
Okay.
So my mental state was like, I might as well try to do a real aggressive entry and try to get that 100-point qualifying run. And if it doesn't work out, just do my normal run on run 2.
Yeah, I was curious about the strategy you and other drivers kind of had with that, of what is your level of aggression on that first run. And I think you went the hardest for the backies, and you did succeed, I think, finally in your run with, was it with Odie or with Castro? You had a real sick ass backy on that first initiation, and it actually you rounded that inner clip perfectly while going with very extreme angles. So congrats to that. But it seems like you were being hyper aggressive all weekend, and sometimes it paid off, sometimes it didn't. Were you struggling with setup at all, or what was your build
honestly,
story?
I didn't even want to do the backies. It was just I'd be coming in too hot, so I'd purposely back it in so I could throttle away and not go flying off course.
The backies did you?
That you also did a backy exit on coming uphill. You almost pull a backwards exit against Radical Daniel.
Yeah, I'm still not too sure why that ended up happening. We were making some pretty drastic changes to the car, and I think I had a lot of front grip in the car, and I usually drive and let it slip around. And I think when that happened, I'm guessing the front just didn't slip, and it kind of pulled me around because I was like, what the heck? It was never happening in that area of the track. Like full throttle, the car just wanted to loop out. It was very weird.
It looked cool.
Yeah, it was not scary, but
Now, Adam, I got a new background. How's this do?
yeah, that's good. I like that better. I
Cool.
approve.
For audio only listeners, majority of our listeners here, Adam, can you describe this background, please?
It's a strange looking man with some weird sunglasses, looking all sus.
Yes.
Well
There's
said.
that. There's that cool language.
Yeah. I was gonna say, like, and actually, I wanted to give Jared Deanda a shout out because it looks like during the off season he updated his vocabulary with like millennial and Gen Z dictionary.
He was doing talk.
He was doing TikTok talk.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
He
exactly.
was doing so well. And I really liked how, to really pinpoint the audience, FD was playing a lot of like Seven Dust and like Avenged Sevenfold and cool music in between the runs just to really dial in that demo. Corey, I know, is a big dust man.
Mm-hmm. I was super stoked into that.
Which, by the way, when you went on an interview with Lorette and you did the thing, how that goes?
Did he dab? What do you mean?
It was like a sound.
Me?
Yeah, like a sheesh or something like that.
No, everyone thought that I said that, but her mic was having issues, and I think it cut off the last part of something I was saying. I don't remember what I was saying about something with ease or something, but it chopped off the last part of that sentence. It was really weird.
No way.
Yeah.
That's too good.
Well, because like I've been seeing like a lot of people saying that, and then like Lorette comes to interviews you, and you start with that. It's like, oh, I don't know. Now I felt like an old man. I was like, okay, I'm officially I don't know.
Bless you.
Yeah, I don't know what's going on. Like, what's the new,
No,
like
it was weird.
I remember when Yeet became a thing, and I was like, hey Corey, what's Yeet? And Corey was like, I
Paco,
think it's like a
Paco.
Pudgy.
You're
showing
aging.
your age,
You're aging yourself. Don't do that, Paco.
you're-
Paco, be cool and young like me.
Oh, what?
What?
That's
Oh,
that was sus.
that was a sus move. Am I right, family? Cool. Can we go back in time, Adam, to before I did that and before this 2021 season began? What did you?
Hold on 1 second. Colette is calling you out right there. That explanation. Sheesh. Right on chat. Sorry.
Oh, that's such a good story,
That
Adam.
was awesome, dude. I can't believe it.
Absolutely. Yeah, I'm so pumped that everyone got to hear that. That is heartwarming, beautiful, tragic, and pretty R-rated, but I'm glad that we had that moment with you in chat. Moving forward from there, though, Adam, I think before we got sidetracked, we were talking about how 2020 taught you things for this year. What did it teach you, and what did you change going into 2021?
Kind of just confidence in the program. Like we had a lot of time on the off season to dial things in and get the car 100%, and just being able to go into it knowing that all I had to really worry about was driving helped tremendously.
Yeah. Did you make any major changes to car, to team, to whatever?
Not a ton of huge changes. I'd say one of probably the biggest changes was Freddie spec tuned, who tuned the car all last year. There were some stuff with our engine program that he wasn't stoked with, and we obviously had a lot of engine issues. And this year I was like, yo, dude, have fun, free reign, do what you want for the engine, just make it feel good. And he did that, and it felt great, and it's been delivering. We're dry sump now this year too, so I don't have to worry about losing oil on banks, so that's fun.
Oh yeah, that's awesome. What
Yeah.
about I noticed that there's now a big LZ MFG on the door. What's up with that versus, not usually most guests on the show, you don't have to badmouth X title sponsors or anything, but what's with the big change on the door?
I had a pretty in-depth explanation in one of my videos, but it was kind of like buried in a random video. So for anyone that hasn't seen that, basically just me wanting to expand more into selling parts myself. Ken, the owner of Injuku, has known that that's been a long-term goal of mine, and last year still sponsored me, and this year probably still would have, but where I want to be at the end of the year in terms of us selling parts, it would have definitely been a conflict of interest. And just out of respect for him and everything he's done for me, it was just kind of the move to take. And I didn't want to have a blank door, so I just kind of threw my own logo on there. And I don't know.
That's awesome. What about? So what as a parts seller, are you manufacturing parts? Are you reselling parts? What's your game there?
As of right now, it's just the main focus is a lot of the stuff that we use in videos, a lot of sponsors parts that already sponsor the program. We promote it. We know a lot about the product. We use it on all the builds, and people naturally want to buy it from us, whether it be coilovers, ECU, Doucheworks product, EQ Master. And kind of following that trajectory, I know there's a big opportunity. And now that we have the space with the new compound to really expand and have a lot on the shelf, my end goal dream is to be able to, in my video, run out back to our warehouse, grab everything we need to build a car off the shelf, and be able to naturally integrate a sponsorship of explaining how someone can also get that stuff from us.
Yeah, that's awesome. It's it seems like a functional means to an end for you personally, but also gets to expand that whole business opportunity.
Yeah.
Corey, I feel like you've got a lot in this realm to
No, I just think
touch
it's
upon.
there was I think a lot of people, especially coming off of last year, have been like not saying struggling with partnerships and things like that, but it just you see a lot of people come back this year, like we were talking about, without having a title sponsor on the door, but they're still willing to come out and keep driving, which I think you got to give a credit a lot to people that just still want to compete in Formula Drift. But also it goes to show, like what Adam's doing is like investing in yourself, developing your own program, depend on yourself. Even if obviously something were to happen, you always have a backup plan. And Adam's always been really good at that. And kind of, and I say that because you're setting the bar high for a lot of people. And I think it's very important to know it's like investing into your own program and yourself, you're never going to let yourself go unless you're just like, you know what, I don't want to do this anymore. There's no other boundaries. You could do what you want. You can style it you want. I think honestly, we go back to the livery you had when the car was like that root beerish color. And it was like very simplistic, but it was like, we haven't seen a car like that since like the Forsberg era when it was all black when he lost Knots the only year. And there's still something cool about being able to control the whole aspects of your team. And a lot of people that are listening right now may not have had dealt with partnerships before or color obligations on where the logo could sit and the styling and design. Does that go with what you want? Like there's a lot on the back end of all this that a lot of people haven't seen yet. So when we see it as drivers, like that is fucking cool because Adam is doing whatever he wants. Like we want to do that too, but it's like, once again, it's everything that you've done to build up to this point that has allowed you to do that, which is awesome.
No, I appreciate that. And one of the cool things too, I'd say probably the least amount of value of my program is the stickers on my car. And, because of that, all of the sponsors have been very cool for me to manipulate and colorize and twist logos to make them look cool and flow with the livery. And that's been really cool because it doesn't really limit our creative freedom, like being locked in with one specific color or logo type font design.
That is cool, though, to see the evolution of marketing in that sense, where you can kind of hardline them and be like, "Hey, this old man marketing of you needing to have this exact color palette and this exact logo placement and this, whatever complete arbitrary but has to be this way graphical need." You can just kind of be like, "No, I don't want to do that. This is what works, and I have the proof." and you can just kind of do it, which is awesome because the amount of times I've had to fuck with logos and seen liveries kind of ruined by the idea that this one logo has to be on this exact color field in this exact placement or else, and it has just been a thing that I imagine frustrates a lot of people in this business.
You just got to deal with what you can get, right? You just have to, you're not going to say no, so you're going to try to make it work. But a lot of people will, do a bunch of rendering and design based around that, that partner. And that's the thing is you got to appreciate them because they're investing into you. And that was the return back. But it's like, we always look about what drifting was. And it was like an ability to showcase who you are and your styling and the character of everything that you want to have people perceive. And not many people are doing that, and for Adam to say, do you know what? Much love doing Juku, but we're going to kind of do it this way. I think it's huge, and hopefully, like I said, that sets a little bit more speed and momentum into other people to saying, you know what, we're gonna change it up and do something for myself. I think that's the biggest thing personally. Yeah, because I've dealt with the other side. Hey, you got to do this, and the thing is let me wrap this around even a little more, Adam. It's like you run and operate your own team. It's your program. It's your car. The obligations are what you want them to be, right? You kind of have the freedom of, let's just do this. Like, do you feel that you have a lot more freedom in the position you are now with running and operating your own team?
Yeah, I think, that's one of the reasons why I'm able to partake in Pro 1 and it not to be not fun for me, just because of the fact that, like, we've essentially created our own turnkey program where I'm still ultimately in control. So, the dream is to be able to arrive and drive, but to also be able to kind of be on the back end and to be able to, create that program and to choose the people that I want to be around and be able to ultimately have the final say. And it's really, really awesome.
I think the dog got the final say.
Yeah.
Obviously, I mean, for those who live under a rock and they don't know that you acquire this gigantic, what do you call it? The compound. how much do you think that helps overall, not only on your professional program, but also like for you, your content creating and all that stuff? Like, I think like a lot of people don't see it, but for you, this is a business. This is like a business acquisition, and
Way
like,
to
I
way
mean,
to downplay the intro to that though. Yeah,
so
let's get here, but then let's talk about this huge fucking compound, man. Oop, punch the mic.
well, it's like a big news.
Oh, well, he'll tell us. He'll tell us.
Okay,
I mean, I'll share with you guys kind of how it's helped the FD program, just because that's kind of the thing that hasn't
Right.
really been highlighted as much in my content or my videos or whatever. But I
Absolutely.
mean, as a facility, I don't want to say last minute preparing the car because it wasn't really that last minute, but it was more last minute aesthetics. We were able to have a friend of ours, Ray, come in and help Chris, and they were able to dial in the fitment of all the body panels, prepare everything on site, fiberglass, paint stuff in the paint booth, like 30 feet away from where he's working on the car, fit stuff, bring it back to the paint booth, fit stuff. We had a testing day where we were able to test at the compound, didn't have to trailer the car anywhere, pulled it right off the lift, put it on the ground, took it outside, had our little setup with a toolbox, did a couple things, made a couple adjustments, did a couple things, made a couple adjustments. I mean, the value and the time that was saved there alone, loading up the rig, having the space that we have, being able to pull everything inside. We blew apart the rig, had the awning set up, tested things in the parking lot. We've got a dump station for the rig, like an RV dump station, hookups for everything there. It saves so much time. It's crazy, and we've only just begun to tap into the stuff that we can do. I mean, even sandblasting stuff on site, whether it be an oil pan or a part real quick, it's pretty
Yeah,
crazy.
you're going for that full service sort of warehouse, which is going to be game changing, I imagine,
That's
or already is. Do you have a dyno yet? And is that next?
Yeah, so we bought a mainline. It should hopefully be here within a month, which is
Awesome.
going to be even huger, bigger.
You'll never have to leave.
Yeah.
that's the beautiful thing though.
That's
That is
wild.
like the best thing ever, man. And it's like going back, right? We're going back to even having to build or run parts or pick something up or move a trailer or even store a car or asking a buddy to help you out put livery on, but he's only gonna do it in his garage. So you got to load the car up. And that is literally the death of race and drift teams right there. And you look at a
Mhm.
lot of the drifters now, and I wanted to say this too, Adam, because you were one of the first dudes actually you're testing their cars before competition. We were kind of keeping an eye on like who's driving their cars first. You were
Mhm.
actually one of the first dudes that were actually driving the car with the 3 liter in it since your dudes built it. Well, everybody else was already still kind of like putting it together, right? And even, some people didn't even make it to competition because of issues they may had, or even their first time driving was at Atlanta still. And
Yeah.
that's all with everything that you literally just mentioned of shuttling, moving, facilitating, housing, fixing, shipping. Um,
I mean, well,
hey,
we've been there and done that, and
yeah,
we sat down at the end of last season and we said, okay, we want to have this engine built and tested by the state. So, I mean, we literally broke it down into baby steps in the sense that, all right, like we tested that engine wet sump. We didn't want to throw a million variables all at the same time. And we were like, all right, let's get the engine built. Let's put it in. Let's drive it wet sump, make sure everything works. Worst case scenario, we have a working setup for FD. Then let's focus on the dry sump stuff. Let's put that in. Then, okay, that works. Then do the next thing. So all throughout, there's no last minute like doing all these variables all at the same time. Like,
it's
you
brilliant,
know,
dude.
It seems like a
makes
very
sense, but
logical way to do it that
Dude, it's
very few
brilliant.
people do
nah.
it.
It's,
Yeah, like you have to do it the wrong way 8 times to be like, all right, now it's time to do it right. But
Yeah. And I think you still probably get more seat time due to the nature of your occupation, thankfully, than a lot of drivers. And obviously it shows and it helps. Like that's wild to see it progress in the way it has. And do you feel good about drifting? No. Do you feel obviously you feel competitive? I feel like every driver says it when they're on the show and they're like, I wouldn't go if I didn't think I was going to win. But like, you are a calmly confident person. Like, do you think that you could win do you think you could win the overall championship this year? Do you think that you would be at the very top of the podium?
I think it's possible. I do.
Yeah.
I'm last year I wouldn't say that. Both I wasn't confident in myself. I wasn't confident in the car. This year, like we got all the cards. I just need to make it happen.
Yeah.
We've got no excuses. We've got a great team. We've got a great car. most of the tracks now I've driven once. I'd say about half of them, but it's
got some
not a
new ones
rookie year
coming, too.
anymore.
Yeah, that's true. And what do you think is your? It sounds like a fucking really shitty job interview. I'm sorry about that. But what is your weakest point as a driver? What do you need to improve upon most?
Probably just consistency. I had a hard time in Atlanta just judging speed. I don't do a lot of high speed drifting, and I usually don't have. I find the biggest thing that I'm struggling with is I usually don't have enough power to like spin the wheels past third gear, and my mind doesn't usually use track cues for entry points. I typically will use my RPM in a certain gear. So like Grange as an example, I go as fast as I possibly can, and my mind remembers the RPM that I'm at in third gear, when to clutch kick and enter. And when you can flash the wheels at any given point in time, that creates a huge variable. And I've started figuring that out towards the end of Atlanta, but that's definitely something I got to continue to remind myself, because it bit me a couple times last year as well, just with issues on timing entering.
Yeah.
Yep.
In other words,
On some of the bank tracks, I would let the car tell me when I was going to enter, just based on when I got to fourth and it flashed the tires. It was like, oh, enter time. But,
in other words, being more reactive to your setting versus just kind of going with the flow of what is familiar.
yeah. Last year, I learned that you don't have to floor the car, and that blew my mind.
Yeah, and maybe you shouldn't on a lot of occasions, because all these cars are so damn powerful now that you're just flashing tires, like you said. Do you feel like you're running out of tires? Sorry, Bugger.
No.
You get it next. I've been hogging them. But do you feel like you're running out of tires like at Atlanta?
Oh no, not at all.
Okay.
No, we had a ton of tire. The Nitto tire is sick. I'm so pumped to be on Nitto. Like,
awesome.
Yeah, I'm super excited.
Who's your spotter?
Matt the Ginge.
How you like him?
He's a great dude.
Nice.
Hard hitting questions.
Yeah.
No, I mean I was gonna ask. Like, I've seen a lot recently, especially like from close friends, like the kind of improvements they've been getting from having a good spotter, and I wonder what are your thoughts on your spotter? Do you think he's giving you like that information that you think you didn't have, and that's what gives you the competitive edge against a driver? Like, what are your thoughts on having a spotter actually telling you what you should be doing?
It's super, super helpful. Especially Matt is like one of the people who taught me how to drift. So we are both very similar brain, in the sense that we look at things very like physics oriented and very mathematically. So he's able to communicate to me how I like to think about drifting. So that's really cool. And, I respect the shit out of him. He respects me, and it's the perfect person to have in my ear for these competitions. And that's really cool. And we also get a lot of help from Nitto that's also there, kind of assisting with spotting, and all that together provides, some really good ammo for me to work with.
Is there any?
Yeah, Nitto still got their dudes. Oh, why am I spacing on his name right now? Who's the Nitto man in the field? Yeah, Ron. Bergenholtz out there, and he's one of my most back when I was in the drift game at every round, and seeing Ron at every round, watching with passion every run, and especially when you guys, his drivers, his boys, were doing well and getting through the rounds, like seeing that dude really up in the game. And
I didn't know if that was public knowledge or not, and I didn't know if I was allowed to talk about it, but it is the coolest thing. Like, he's really awesome, and the data that he gets us is insanely helpful.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard not to think it's public because of the way that he yells about drifting when he's on the sidelines yelling. But yeah, I mean, every team has, I don't want to say every team, most teams have someone watching other drivers, watching everyone giving data and all that. So, I mean, I think it was more common back in the big tire wars. But I don't know. Corey, you know better than I.
No, I'm just going to say, like, I think the biggest thing that's been happening to drifting over the past few years is there's, shock engineers, tire engineers. There's somebody that's always pulling data, collecting information to make things as consistent as possible for the driver, but as also as equally as reliable. And that's just kind of the trajectory of the sport right now, is having as much data collected, but also too, it's great for Nitto and these other tires to actually get hard data to take back for development, right? I think that's another reason why a lot of these guys invest into to drivers in the sport is purely tire development, seeing what it can withstand, see how they can improve it and make it better, but also what they can do to make it better for the driver.
Yeah.
There was times where it's like, even thinking about Adam, when your like program was, you were starting out, how it's evolved from what it was when you working in your garage to now. How big of a difference is that, and how much you've learned over the time, and how have you learned that? It's through, like you mentioned, these people that have, the Genji's been, educating you, and now you're running into Ron Bergenholtz and all these guys who've been running FD teams for years, kind of on your side, showing you way. But that's the advantage of being in the big leagues, is you get to see all this cool shit that happens that makes this level of drifting so exciting that a lot of people don't get to see what happens behind the scenes, which I think is some of the coolest parts.
I love data, and it's really cool. And one of my favorite things about competitive drifting at this level is being able to make a change and see how drastic of a change is, to the point where
Right.
we had some data on times in a certain sector of the course. I realized that I was pretty far off from the field, made a big change, got right back up to on par with the field, and that was really cool to see. And it got me really excited and made me feel a lot better and a lot more confident going into competition.
Yeah, it's crazy to see the evolution of that. How I think for a long time it was just like, and this is like up until like 5-7 maybe years ago. We need like someone who's been here longer than me and probably even longer than Corey to say. But like initially it was just like, this car feels tight, let's change sway bar. And then now it has gotten to the point of, granted, I think you're still largely changing sway bar for most things and tire pressure, but still it's like to see the way that data and its tracking and the way that you're actively changing the car on the fly is gone a very long way in a very short amount of time. And it's like, I remember seeing on Vaughn's team, just like dudes checking tire temps and checking track temps after each run, and then using that data from tire sponsors and using that data from everywhere, and having your dude on the corner with a speed gun and seeing how far this car or how fast this car is initiating, and the dude with a stopwatch and counting how many seconds are in each interval in each section. Like, it is wild. I don't think you see and get to experience a lot of that from the standard spectator's position, and realize how professional this shit has gotten in the background in just the past half decade.
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, we have about 6 different turbo setups, and depending on the competitor, we're actually changing turbos and tunes to better suit.
Wait, you're changing actual physical turbos on the car?
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
Isn't that
I'm just
awesome?
kidding.
I didn't
I was
know.
gonna say, like, that's
Oh.
insane. That's where
I
it's
mean,
at.
that sounds like.
I wouldn't believe, I wouldn't doubt it. I wouldn't doubt
I mean, you jest, but I mean, I was like, immediately my brain's like, okay, that sounds pretty hot. I guess you could have thick gloves, and I guess, yeah, it probably is a top mount on a 2J. Yeah, okay, so you could do this hypothetically, but that's not a lot of time. And goddamn, that thing's hot. Where do you put it once it's off the car? That's gonna burn someone. Like, but then you had to lie to me, which honestly, this show is not cool with. So, Adam, thank you. Have a good night, man.
We laugh about that, but it's gonna happen. We
I
laugh
know.
about all this stuff.
People do it based on track, and based on
Yeah,
track,
absolutely, yeah.
it makes sense, because certain
Yeah.
tracks you need response, certain tracks you need power. I mean, they do it in road racing, they do it in time attack. Like, it makes sense.
I can't believe I just got like that.
Like, we just going off the whole data conversation, Sam. Like I said, there's still so much more. Look what they're doing in other forms of motorsports nowadays. You know what I mean? Obviously, there's always constantly changing going on, and drifting is not too far behind. But I think that's also kind of leading to like another conversation too, is because, Adam, you are like a big advocate for grassroots drifting. You did it forever. You crushed the grassroots drift scene. You've done a lot of stuff out in Florida. How much different in this, and how much more do you enjoy professional drifting now that you've been in it? And also, how much do you enjoy grassroots drifting now that you've seen both sides of it now, right? You've seen FD and you've still seen the party. So how would you compare the two, and how do you enjoy them differently now?
I know I've used this analogy a lot, and I don't like to treat them as the same thing. Like, in my mind, when I tried to make FD the same drifting as the grassroots drifting in my brain, I couldn't accept both. Like, you can't have both, because they're like, I have to view them as completely different sports. Competitive drifting and Formula Drift is awesome, and it fulfills the competitive drive and the professionalism that I lack in my life. And then grassroots drifting is like the super fun, hanging out with your friends, lap after lap after lap, like enjoyment that, I guess, maybe to I don't know much about basketball, but I'd imagine if you were a basketball player, it'd be like the enjoyment of like playing pickup games at your local court and like hanging out with friends and just playing and playing and playing till you run out of breath, versus like
I think he's pausing for effect.
Sure,
Oh,
both are awesome and both are fun and both are good, but like they're not the same thing, even though it's the same sport.
yeah. But imagine if people who loves playing basketball, at the and just like the city courts, if one of their friends suddenly started playing for the NBA and they're all like, "Oh, what a sellout! That guy sucks. He's going to play in the NBA. What a turd."
A bunch of confirmed real basketball fans here, judging by the vocabulary. So let's picture that I'm making slam dunks on you, okay? And then you're at the 4-point thrower,
Barker.
and then I go in and I'm in the paint. Adam, just it's like that, huh?
You're in the paint.
Yeah, I think that's a term for
Is that a term
b-ball.
for basketball?
Is that a
under
I
the
don't
rim?
know. I couldn't tell you. I'm not
my
a
middle?
basketball-
They used to call me Hoops back in college. That was my nickname.
I don't know why I'm trying to make basketball analogies when we're actually on a drift podcast for once.
Yeah.
No.
I mean,
It's perfectly
Oh,
fine. I mean, like,
we can switch over to our b-ball podcast if you don't mind.
Yeah, that's cool.
Maximum Hoopcast. We breezed over it a little bit before, but this the compound you've recently invested in a ultimate mega drift compound, and previously you've been buying too many cars. You didn't have anywhere to put them, and not just cars, but sick ass JDM pillars of history and otherwise non JDM and you name it. But you just tell us about the fucking compound.
It's a 30-acre facility that was owned by a guy that passed away, and he built this place of his dreams to restore cars. And it's got 26 structures, a paint booth, a bunch of shops, like 50 lifts, space to store 200 cars indoors, beautiful lighting, beautiful floors, 3 houses on site, sandblasting booth, 200,000 square feet of drivable concrete, which equates up to like 2 miles of standard road width that's driftable, go-kartable. Yeah.
That sucks. I'm sorry, man.
Yeah.
how much fun is that? Like, I saw you, like, I mean, you bought what, like 10 go-karts, and then you brought all your friends, and they're all we're just gonna work, and then it became just like a go-kart party.
It's like almost I would say it's almost every day, but we've been pretty busy. But like we did yesterday, we did today. Kevin Wells is stopping by tomorrow. He's like, you better have the go-karts ready for me.
Yeah.
Like it's becoming a thing.
Get
man.
Kevin on your side.
Oh yeah. Yeah, no, we're gonna I told
Now-
everyone to let him win.
Yeah, the big dad energy in me right now. I'm not a dad other than just for some cats or
I got
whatever.
waivers.
But the big dad energy says, "How much is that AC bill, dog? You better
So
close that door. You better close that door before you get out. When you go out,
Our first electric bill of the whole place was $2,000 a month, and that's with
That's
no
all right.
AC.
That's not bad.
dude, my 500 square foot Venice
but that's
beach
with
house is
no
like
AC
a quarter of
units.
that.
Yeah, but you
Oh,
live in
that's just
California,
all
Sam.
straight
Yeah,
power tools
you
and
d-
light.
You don't need AC
Yeah.
though, right?
No, we need AC.
No, you're in the middle of the swamp.
Yeah.
Well,
Oof.
I guess we'll see. Guys, super chat is going straight up to Adam today. Adam needs our help with his AC bill at his 30-acre complex. If any donations will be appreciated.
We had
yeah.
a super chat question, by the way, from Ben Tranter. We're just gonna give the super chat donation to Adam. 'Cause
Yeah.
he needs it more than us.
Yeah, absolutely.
Ben Tranter, he says, "Do you have another test date set up before Orlando next weekend?" It's already next weekend.
It's next weekend, dude.
What
would've been-
FD is? Fuck
Yeah.
off.
Yes.
What?
Yeah. It would have been sweet to have a test day at Orlando beforehand, but not a lot of people are aware that you aren't allowed to test. What is it, within 2 weeks of the next round?
Oh,
So it would've
at the
been-
track.
Yeah, so it would have been impossible to test at Orlando beforehand. And, a lot of people are like, you should go drive Cletus's track and go drift there because it's also a bank. But
Similar.
man, like, yeah, but bank tracks don't really translate to other bank tracks unless they're pretty close.
No.
And Orlando is so small and so short that we're better off just focusing on the car and just getting it dialed, and we'll get the setup pretty damn near close to what it needs
But
to be.
you grew up there, right? I mean, like you, as in like your drift career, like you spent a lot of time on that track.
On the
No?
skid pad. The skid
Oh
pad,
yeah, that's right.
not the oval. No one drives the oval other than FD just because it eats tires so quickly.
And it
Um,
destroys the track, as we've seen chunks fly up at different rounds.
Listen, man, have you seen what they do in that track when there's not drifting?
No, I'm not talking shit on the track. I'm not talking shit on the track. I'm just saying
No,
that, you know.
I'm saying, have you seen the demolition derbies?
Yes,
they do
the
that,
figure
where
eight racing and shit. Yeah.
they tow upside down boats behind trucks and crash into each other, and then
It's the best.
Like,
I fully
surreal.
support.
Yes, drifting does no damage there.
International
Yeah.
In
racetrack.
comparison, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm not saying
Or
the
like
drifters
floating
cause
around on
damage.
some Q-tips compared to them.
I'm just saying that, you know, they try to have some semblance of clean track before a drift event, but you know, fuck it, whatever. Just ruin it.
Oh, pave the pits right before so all the rigs get stuck
Yeah. Wait, did that happen?
every year at Orlando.
Oh,
Oh,
no.
Wait, they do like a fresh asphalt lay and then all the rigs
Yeah,
just sink in.
Yeah, they'll repave
good.
the pits and then all the rigs get stuck.
Oh, that's perfect.
Well, at least they're
Yeah.
trying.
Yeah, that's some effort. That's good.
Just real quick, how far are you from Cletus?
Like probably like 2.5 hours, 3 hours.
Oh, okay, just a little bit of a drive.
Yeah.
What are the future plans for Compound? Do you plan to build out tracky things there? Or are you going to keep it as a one-stop shop for the LZ life and team and parts?
It's going to be built more around the business and
Mm-hmm.
kind of like the shop side of things. You know, the driveway already works well for like light testing, but I don't plan to really make it a track. You know, maybe fix a couple concrete things that, you know, make go-karts uncomfortable, but for
Mhm.
car usage, it's pretty much what we could need it for right now, and any crazier would just
Yeah.
be a lot more money and time than it's worthwhile.
Considering what Turk was able to accomplish test-wise at the New Hampshire house with his cars and his tiny driveway, I think you'll be okay with your driveway.
For sure.
How about neighbors? Did they hate you already or they love you?
You know, we haven't met a lot of them, but the ones that we have met have been pretty cool. You know,
Nice.
I freak out, but even though it can be kind of loud in our driveway, you know, one other corner of the property, you can barely hear what's going on. So
And it's Florida, baby. Yeah.
you know, we're right by like a lot of airboats with like super loud V8s. and
Yeah.
We're by a main road with lots of semi trucks and tractor trailers, so there's always noise. I like to think, you know, I forget that some people aren't into cars, but I'm always like, man, you know, if it was midnight and I heard a Jay-Z ripping and doing donuts, I'd be hyped. And so like
No.
probably thinks about that. Like that.
Yeah. I mean, I do have to often play the game of gunshot or backfire or firework. And mostly it's firework and backfire because sometimes them Jay-Z hot boys do have a little rip down my street. And sometimes it's guns. And that's cool. You know, guns are fun, right?
Yeah, but you're probably getting Jay-Z boys mixed up with the Burble Tune boys. There's a big
Mm. Oh yeah. Well, every time I drive my stock M2 down the freeway and someone else in a also stock BMW that put on a burble tune does like to show me their burbles. And granted, I've got them
Burble
stock.
guts.
I've got them stock BMW burbles, but whatever these fucking kids did to theirs to make it blow out my windows, that shit's cool. How do I get that?
RK Tunes. He's your guy. He's the
Okay.
gunshot god of the
Okay.
BMW world.
Arcade tunes. Let's check. Is that going to avoid my warranty?
Nope.
It's gonna
All right,
give you way
cool.
more drip though, Sam.
Mhm.
You
Throw some
promise?
arcade tune on that.
Yep.
All right. Ordering now. Wait,
Yep.
can I buy that from you, Adam?
Sure.
You got it on your website?
I'll put it on just for you.
Just
Fuck
Sam,
yes.
if you come rolling up with a burble tune, my guy, oh my god, Sam, you'd be crushing.
That's
Yep.
that one.
You'd be crushing, dude.
From one thing I've noticed is like whenever people is ripping around my hood and got that, like everyone on the sidewalks always like, damn, that shit's sick. And like everyone else in the cars, like all the moms in their the Priuses are just like, hell yeah, man, that shit rips. Like everyone's pumped. It doesn't freak anyone out. Adds a lot of drip, I think you called it. Is that what the kids
Drippy.
say?
You can say drippy.
Yeah,
on ice.
no problem.
Mhm.
Yeah, that's right.
On ice.
Couple more
Yep.
super chat questions.
Yeah, hit him.
Lucas M says, "This money is for AC units only."
So we
Thanks,
got
Lucas.
Absolutely.
$4.
There you go.
And I'm
Yeah,
gonna get that to you.
that should
As
cover
always,
it.
looking cool. Joshua Craigelo says, "When can I come to the compound with the Supra and do a burnout?" LOL, JK.
Do you guys know that kid?
Nope.
No.
So he won one of the supers that we gave away. He's a really
Oh
good dude.
shit!
Oh.
Nice.
Oh.
Yeah.
I thought you were about to go the other direction and say, "Do you guys know that kid?" No, ban him.
No. No.
No,
I didn't.
you wouldn't do that.
Yeah.
Damn,
no, he's
that's
got a
cool.
Supra. Yeah,
Was it
that's
the
awesome.
A90? Which one did he win?
Yeah. He
The
brought
A90?
it out. Yeah, he brought it out to St. Louis as well, and we parked it at the pits and got photos with the next FD car.
Nice.
It's sick that he's been able to keep it. It was a red one.
That's so
Ah,
sick.
That pumps me up when I see actual people winning giveaway cars like that, and then see them enjoying them and having a badass time.
Yeah. How many cars you giving away?
I gave away a 350Z, which is still being drifted up at E-Town, which is sick. I gave away a really nice R33 that was beautiful car with an RB26 that we put in, like really dialed build. Still being enjoyed by the guy that won it. We gave away the red A90, and then I gave away the white A90, which got sold.
damn.
That's a lot of giveaways.
That's cool.
But it's over the course of like 4 years.
Yeah,
Like,
No,
we
no,
do,
no. I
like,
mean,
1 or
still,
2 a
yeah.
year.
Like it's
yeah.
it's badass. I mean, like, I think maybe you were one of the first ones who started like
A90.
giving up cars, and then like serious cars, and then it just seems like suddenly everybody's giving away cars.
Yeah, that's become a bit of a trend because I think, as long as you have a high enough cap on the amount of submissions you need, you're guaranteed to make at least a little bit of money on it. But also, there's more nefarious people out there doing it, and
But it seems like Adam was like setting a trend.
One of the first few that's
One of the
done it.
first ones is
Yeah.
like actually like no bullshit. We're gonna give away a car, and it's not just like a Ford Fiesta. It's like a serious car.
whoa, it's got party in the name. Why would you bash giving away a Fiesta?
A couple of my friends had done it, and I didn't even like back then. The reason why I was doing it is because I wanted to build a very inexpensive 350Z to make content with, showing people that they could get into drifting like for next to no money. So I did it with the intention, knowing that I didn't need that car for myself because I already had one, but I wanted to go through the build and make the content on it, and it gave a means to the end. And
Yeah.
it worked out well.
Then you
there's
realize
certainly
you
a-
had too many fucking cars.
yeah, there's certainly a lot of people doing them now, but just be mindful that there's a lot of people that do it the sketchy ghetto way, where
Yeah.
they do the raffles and stuff, where
Yeah.
Everybody's
could-
raffling their cars.
which is technically illegal because it's
Right.
there's a lot of sweepstakes rules, and like we pay a fortune to lawyers and legal fees to make sure
Right.
everything's legit.
Yeah, I didn't
but
mean to say
a lot
that
of
yours
people get
were.
away with it.
Yeah, I
no,
didn't
I
mean to
know,
say that
but-
yours were nefarious, but yeah, like there are a bunch of sketchy ones, and like we work with a really good company called Omaze that like does these. You buy the raffle essentially, and you win these really fucking expensive and really nice and sometimes classic cars, and then like the majority of the money goes to charity, and it's like it pumps me up that they are doing that, and usually ends up in like many times the value of the car going to charity, but then like I see this shitty clearly a scam one, and I'm like, oh, there's got to be a lot of people out there that like associate these as the same thing, and that's a bummer. But
I don't think any of them are scam. I think everyone ends up giving their car away. Like I don't think people end up not giving their car away or do shady things. I just some people just are shady in the sense they don't legally file or go through the proper steps to have a legitimate raffle giveaway that other people are spending the money and time to do.
yeah, I don't know. I've seen some Instagram paid posts that looked pretty goddamn scammy, but maybe they were giving away a car. Who knows? Can't you just set like the expiration time as like, we're giving away this car, and what they mean to say is we're giving away this car in 20 years. I guess if someone actually did read
some
the
places do that. I feel like I would drive
Yeah.
my audience insane. Like any longer than 30 days, I won't do it. But a lot of them are like minimum like 60 days. But that's just so long to have to talk about it and promote it. It just kills your audience.
Yeah.
Absolutely. So I'd like to well, let's get a couple more boy questiones here. God, I hate when I say stuff like that. That sucks. And then let's hit some IGs, and then send you're on Florida time there too, so I don't want to keep you too late. But Corey, Paco, what do you got for our good friend Adam before
Well, I
we
was
hit
gonna ask
IGs?
Adam. I was gonna ask Adam outside of Florida, what track is gonna be your track where you slanging on everybody? What's gonna be what's your track you're gonna be throwing down? Most confident in? laying these nerds out?
Good question. St. Louis, I really enjoyed.
Really?
Even though it was
St.
awkward.
Louis, huh?
It's a
Even though it was
fast track.
awkward, it was just like, yeah, but it wasn't. It wasn't really that fast of a
Really?
track.
Not
It's
the not
awkward.
the newer, not the the newer.
Yeah, the
The
new
one you're
lay-
thinking
new
about.
layout, yeah, worked real well for me because there's just lots of big flicks, like not a hugely fast entry, like very technical, which is what I
Rapid
them.
slow down and speed up.
Yeah, where like the other tracks where it's like huge fast entries, you're drifting on a NASCAR bank, like I don't do that a lot, so it's harder for me to do that as confidently.
How do you feel your chase game is right now? Are you feeling pretty confident in the chase position, or do you feel better in lead?
Oh, I always feel better in the chase.
Chase is your go-to.
Always.
Good
Yeah,
shit.
yeah, no. I don't like leads. I don't like having control. I just like following.
I
I'm a
mean,
follower, man.
I always thought that the better driver that is that leads you, the better line you can follow. And do you ever battle or at least tandem practice with James Dean?
I wish, but no.
You never had a chance.
Aw.
Maybe
You were-
one day.
You were, I can't remember. You debuted pro last year, right?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So he was gone. Like,
Yeah.
but for example, like, who's your favorite driver to chase?
Probably Matt, my spotter.
Well, but I'm saying like an FD.
Oh. I don't know. I feel like I've barely gotten any chase runs with a lot of these guys. So
Yeah. Corey,
Okay.
you better hit him with that fire right now.
No, I was gonna say, working with a lot of the whole Niddle tire guys. Do you guys share a lot of data, or do you have a team that you share data with, or is it all exclusively to you as far as information development? And the other thing too, outside of that, obviously you've been campaigning the S15, but you spent a lot of time in the A90s. Do you see yourself switching chassis anytime soon?
wow, you just asked two questions.
I
both
did.
At the same time. That my mind's struggling right now.
Oh baby.
Sharing data like between other teams on the same tire. Is that
Yep.
what the first question
Or
was?
just in general, right? Like obviously being a newer team, and you're saying, your rookie year, you've been to some of these tracks, and I think the hardest thing about being a driver is coming to so many tracks, you don't have any data collected, or you're learning. Is there people or other teams helping you, providing you with information?
Yeah,
Like,
I'd
do you
say
feel there's some helpful
probably
people out there?
the biggest one. Vaughn and Chelsea always got my back, and
Yep.
if I ever ask them a question, they'll do their best to answer it, and they've never been like, "Oh, that's proprietary information. We won't
Right.
share it with you." But even other drivers I've asked when I've had some weird setup issues that have the same chassis, or I know I've had the same like problem before, and everyone's always happy to share. But there are other times too when like I'm not going to ask a driver something that I know that they probably shouldn't tell me. So it's just a respect thing, man. Like you don't go ask someone their secrets, but and then your second question was, do I ever see myself switching chassis? I love the A90 chassis. Like I
Yep.
think it's an awesome car, even though I can't see out of it because I'm too tall. But it's just expensive to build another chassis, and it'd be sweet if I had factory support and was able to build a new chassis. But I'm just gonna keep driving the 15 as long as I can because it costs me the least.
Yeah.
So when are you going to be taking Chelsea's spot in RTR?
Or when's Vaughn going to be your teammate? And
Oh,
he's gonna
or
hop-
when is
he's gonna-
Vaughn?
Yeah.
Yeah, no, I was thinking. Yeah, I was gonna have Vaughn drive for me. I was gonna put him in a.
Yes.
We're gonna
Oof.
get a Fruit Loop sponsored S15, but only the green Fruit Loops.
I like that.
Dude, that would be so good, dude.
Yep.
And on the
That's the
topic
plan.
of the S15, like you say, like when you're going to change, like unless you have like a factory car sponsor, like so many drivers have just straight up said like, oh, S15 is the best drift car. And I think that a lot of the recent years would tend to agree with that. And it looks the best. Let's be honest. And Adam, I promise you, this is the last time I simp for you, as chat calls it. But I do think that you got the best looking car right now, man. That
Thank
the
you.
livery is good. It's like the nice fusion of JDM and US. I just like it. And
a little bit of Ed Hardy.
Little Ed
tattoo.
Hardy.
Ed
Yeah.
Hardy.
But it looks cool. I mean, I know like a lot of people were saying that it looks like AutoZone stickers, but
What?
Who said that?
I
Who the
saw-
fuck said
We're
that about
gonna find
Adam?
him right fucking now. Who said
I
it?
saw some people say, I don't know. I don't remember their
Paco,
usernames.
are you making
Paco,
this?
was
Are you
that
saying
you?
it under
I think it
somebody
was
else's
no,
name?
I think it was Yogurt Slinger for 2069.
Okay.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah. 'cause
I'd
if
be
that was
pumped if
you-
I could get replacement livery stickers at AutoZone. That would be so convenient.
Oh, I bet. Isn't vinyl printing a shit ton of stickers fun?
Yeah. Super Wow Factory does all the printing for the graphics, and they're usually good about getting stuff to us last minute.
Yeah.
Getting replacement stickers and stuff. If I could just go to AutoZone, like maybe that's the move next year. Maybe I take that one step further, and I do make my livery based out of AutoZone elements.
Now here's the thing, $1 million idea for you. You should make your own line like Adam LC stickers and sell them at AutoZone. And now everybody's gonna have your livery on their cars.
So I can have a bunch of stock cars rolling around, making my graphics look worse.
Adam,
Great
can
idea.
I want to ask you
Just
something.
imagine that next to the Ford
Paco,
Fiesta.
Adam, I'm going to ask you something.
Mm.
Wheel color.
All right. My wheel color?
Yeah.
What about it?
You like the black? You're a big fan of the black, or why not? Why do we not see
So-
chrome Johnnies? Why
What are
do
you
we not
talking
see-
about, Corey?
The rear tire that we run with Nitto is huge, and it would have looked so ridiculous on my wheels from last year. I think when you have a huge sidewall, darker color wheels look better because it kind of hides the sidewall a little bit, and it just looks, I don't know. Huge sidewalls I've always liked on darker color wheels because it's like a light colored wheel with a huge sidewall. It makes the wheel look extra small. But yeah, we were torn between like a mag blue, a bronze, and a black, and black was what was in stock, and that color black with the colored spoke worked well with the livery and kind of brought attention to the rest of the car, and I'm really happy with it.
It was funny because somebody sent me the Club Loose. You're obviously familiar with Club Loose, right?
Mhm.
Club Loose.
Mhm.
Have you read the Club Loose rules on black wheels?
Yeah, they're not allowed.
They're not allowed. Black wheels are not allowed at Club Loose, and Matt Petty came up with that rule. But you brought up a good point because a lot of this does have to, compensate with the sidewall and the size. Because you're running what, like a 315? What size are you running? 315. That is absolutely insane. Especially coming off a 255, which was pro spec or pro 2. 255 to 315 is absolutely insane. But it's funny because Matt Petty wrote this in the Club Loose rulebook. Black wheels are expressly forbidden at all Club Loose events under the penalty of public humiliation for having no taste, including flat black, matte black, gloss black, or even quote unquote time attack style. So somebody sent that to me and was asking about the black wheels, because also the other thing about black wheels is now you're obviously, it's been a while, but you have to run a stripe or an indicator so people can't cheat the e-brake. Obviously in this case, that wasn't the thought. The idea was it just looked good with the tires.
Yeah, no, I think the little sticker on the graham lights makes them stand out more. But I'm super stoked to have Rays on board, and
Absolutely.
That was the color that they had in stock and that they were down to give me, and I am super happy with it. And would I put black wheels on every single car I own? No, but I think it works on the car.
Works
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, I'm all for black wheels. I like him. There's a real quick super chat question from Matthew Alanius. It says, those giveaway 350Z build videos have helped a ton on my Z.
It
Fun
sounds like a
facts.
weird name. I would hate to be named that name.
Matthew
No, just a whole name.
Alanius. I guess you probably know him.
Yeah, no. Yeah. So another man, you guys are picking the best people here.
Oh,
So
no,
Matt,
they're super chats. They're actually paying for this, so it's their fault.
yeah, but so yeah, I got great friends. So Matt
Nice.
actually, I had this brand deal. It was for a Netflix show. I think it was Fast and Furious, Speed Racers. They had an animated show, and I needed my job was to pick up a subscriber and surprise them in a car of mine. And I took it one step further, and I picked up a random subscriber who was Matt, who was the person that just commented, in the S15. I street drove it to his house, picked him up in my FD car, took him to OSW, and we went drifting.
Nice.
And
So good.
we actually wound up teaching him how to drive stick and drift my 350Z in the same day, and now he owns his own. And he still comes and hangs out, and we've been pretty good friends since.
Nice. That's
That-
pretty
that-
cool.
You bring up something right there I want to highlight on is, obviously content creation things that you're doing nowadays. What type of content are you excited about creating nowadays? Like, what's some stuff that gets you excited to film?
Home renovations at the compound.
Is that
Like,
it?
sounds ridiculous, man, but like after building cars over and over and over and over again for like 4 or 5 years, it's exciting to get to do something on camera that's not working on cars. So that and just getting to screw off with our friends and like doing go-kart stuff. It's cool to have a change of pace and not kind of feel like we're stuck in the same mold, working out of the same shop, just rinse, repeat, different car, different engine, do it again.
It's funny that you said that, because it's like we went through talking about the guy who won the A90, the dude that's learned, like, you've been doing this for a long time, dude. And it's like, not being in this realm, it's what keeps driving or what keeps you exciting actually doing it. So it's funny you saying something as simple as home renovations, or even like creating this facility. Obviously you see a couple other people like Cletus has done it, but it's actually, as a viewer, it's fun to watch too, because it just seems like there's like this breath of fresh air. It's like,
Yeah.
whoa, fuck, he's having fun again, dude. Hell yeah. Not saying you're not having fun, it's just a different person that you're seeing. Like, it's just rekindled.
Yeah, no, it's for sure a change of pace. It's definitely was well needed. It's easy to kind of burn yourself out, like getting stuck in the same rut, and traveling all the time can be hard. And it's cool that we can do so much now in the same spot. And there's so many avenues for content. For a while, there was like crazy stuff happening that I just didn't even bother filming because I already had like 8 videos stacked. And
Yeah.
I going from stressing about what to film the next day to that is wild.
Oh, dude, I can't imagine. Paco, we have some Instagram questions. Let's go ahead and
And
jump
Sam,
to them.
I'm here now. Don't worry. I fixed my mic, and honestly, I was gonna say something like, "Did you miss me?" But like, the show was
No.
really enjoyable when I wasn't talking.
Yeah,
So
it's pretty nice.
like,
But there's a couple super chat questions. Can go
Yeah.
through them and jump into Instagram. Again, Lucas M. Does Adam planning on live stream more often, or was the last 2 days just a coincidence? At this rate, I need to find a new hiding spot at work.
Yeah, I know live streams stress me out, so I'm not really planning
Oh,
to
sorry,
do
we're
them.
live. You know that.
Yeah,
That's
no, I
different.
know.
Okay.
He's not in
I'm
charge.
not
Like he
exactly.
yeah.
I'm not in control, so I can do whatever I want. I can make you guys look stupid, and
Yeah.
it doesn't look
You
bad on
have.
me.
You
Dude,
really
That
have.
whole,
You really
that whole
have.
internet thing that y'all dealt with in
Go
the
crazy.
beginning, man. If that was me, I would have been so embarrassed. I probably would have just
that
given
was
up.
we're
me.
embarrassed.
But
Just
what would be an
saying.
LZ stream without having problems, dude?
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
you
true.
know, for every single one I start, I'm like, oh, is this thing on? Like, can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
I can figure out if I get chat working. I feel like I'm my dad using internet for the first time.
Yeah, that's us. Pretty
Well,
much.
you
I think
are
that's
doing home
Paco.
renovations, and you're still
Yeah.
learning the live stuff, dude. It's heading to dad zone, man.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Also,
Paco, any more
yeah,
supers?
Yeah,
Yeah.
one last one from our boy Shooter Slayer.
Shooter Slayer.
Shutter Slayer. Ask Adam why his mustache is a bit lacking. We need a full, thick
Oh,
caterpillar of a mustache. Once he gets that, he will podium every time.
Mm.
I think
I
it's
agree.
looking like very, very refined.
It's
It's
proper.
like
He's
a
really-
very nice gentleman. as
He's just
opposed
trying
to-
to neg you so he can, get in there.
I don't know. I don't really do anything. I just, the dude that cuts my hair, I'll trim it up here and there, and I don't tell him what to do. He just does it, and
That's
I just
cool.
roll with it.
Yeah.
And it looks like right now he's cut your hair into like kind of like a dual like spike row up front. You got it like a very tight knit devil horns.
It's like we call it the evil Jimmy Neutron.
Ah.
Yes. Okay, that's a good way to describe it.
It's a
Yep.
mini neutron.
No, yep.
I got a
Oh,
yeah.
rumor, Adam. I got a rumor.
Yeah,
One
yeah,
shot.
hit him.
Is it true?
What?
Is it true that you read Formula Drift live stream chat in between your runs and qualifying?
Yeah, sometimes.
Oh
People-
my
Oh, no,
god!
don't
you,
say
dude,
it.
don't fall into the hole, dude.
Oh,
What?
no.
Okay?
No, I'll go and comment after my run sometimes, and people will be like, "How are you commenting? You're still driving."
Yeah.
Funny 'cause they don't realize it's
Well-
delayed.
There's also like every time you go on track, there's like 300 people asking if you are on track.
Well, that's why I was thinking that here's an app idea, and I don't know if you want to get into the app development field, Adam, and I don't really know if there's any incentive to do this other than to make the Formula Drift YouTube chat as functional as it used to be before you were in FD, which I would say was a cesspool of non-function and terribleness. So if you want to bring it back to that, here's a plan. You do an app that the app is called essentially, it's probably got a cool like Tumblr name sort of thing or Google, but it's the LZ app. And what it is what is Adam LZ's status? And it will send these people's reminders every, I'd say 5, 10, 15 seconds max that says Adam LZ is in the pit. Adam LZ has not yet run. Adam LZ is currently on grid. Adam
Adam
LZ
LZ,
is running
Brazil
his first
number
run.
one.
Yeah, and then it's just gonna, and maybe we can. So we start with just having this on at FD rounds, but since these guys are always very concerned for your whereabouts and what you've done, maybe we just kind of attach this to your life constantly, and then you become like an IRL streamer, and then suddenly everyone knows what you're doing 100% of the time, and then you fall from grace after a very mental breakdown period of just an explosion of losing a sense of self after you've exposed yourself too much to these people. You know what? Let's just not do it. Never
That's
mind,
deep.
Adam.
Yeah, it's
Let's just-
you
let's
had me at
just-
the first.
Yeah.
We could easily just have a timer on the bottom corner of like Formula Drift while it's qualifying. Adam LZ's up and like a countdown. And then before his run, it takes over the full screen, does a full countdown, then Adam goes.
That's a good idea. Like maybe one of your sponsors or LZMFG could sponsor a bit of the live stream that could have like the LZ counter. And it could
That
be
would
like
be
an
way
LZ
easier. That way
an
he
LZ
can be in the
ticker.
zone and just the LZ
Yeah.
ticker in the bottom right.
Or just
Hey,
tell your
Adam-
fans when you're running.
It could be a commercial warning. It could just warn people when the commercial is.
Yeah.
Another
Or
easy
just-
solution.
Or just be more transparent with your fans, Adam. Just tell them when you're running, please.
Well, no, usually they put a commercial before every time I go. That's why I was saying that. So if you
Oh,
see the
you're saying
commercial-
you're saying that you've noticed that that the algorithm has favored putting ad content when
I haven't noticed it. It's just what everyone has been DMing
I
me. 'cause
love
I'm
that
actually
so much.
driving. I'm actually driving on
love
the
that.
track, but everyone's like, "Yeah, I just tune in right after the commercial," and that's always when you go.
so
All
the
right,
Super
guys,
Bowl
we're gonna take a
halftime.
30-minute commercial break. Adam LZ is up here next, so make sure you
Got
guys
you.
don't go anywhere. If you can make it through the commercials, you will see Adam LZ up next, guys. Wait, boom, cut the camera. 30-minute commercial, then you come back. Do your
And
run.
thankfully-
It's me sitting on grid and thinking for 30 minutes while I run
Yeah.
commercials.
And thankfully, chat is actually helping us right now, wondering if you have gone yet. A lot of people are asking.
What
Adam,
has
have
have
you
gone?
have you gone yet? Okay, there's your answer, chat. You got it.
He went.
He's gone earlier today.
He gone
So-
went.
So Super Chat will be open for just another moment. Let's hit some IG questions, and then we'll send the old
Finish the
boy
super
into the
chatters.
ground. Send the old boy into the ground. That's what you call it when you kill someone. Long-time commenter. I don't know if he's you probably already best friends with him, considering that every other person that has said something you've had a very charming and heartwarming anecdote about. Macho Man Randy Sanchez. Have you heard of him? He's a real dirtbag / golden heart of Maximum Driftcast. He says, "Is it true that Nitto makes all of their drivers go on a 100% cat food diet? That isn't a deal breaker for me. Can you put in a good word for me?"
Yeah, no, I've never eaten cat food. And he's
Well,
not giving me a lot to work with here. Like, sure.
I mean, but I mean, thankfully, that's why we're here to pivot. Why haven't you eaten cat food?
Why haven't you?
Funny you should ask.
Oh boy.
I've eaten. I had a bite of Alpo dog food. Have you seen the Road Warrior before? Second Mad
Yep.
Max movie.
Yeah.
You know how he eats a can of dog food in that?
Yeah, it was like scene 3.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. So my roommate and I one night in college, because we watched that movie a lot, because obviously why the fuck wouldn't you? Because it's one of the best movies ever made. We're like, hey, I wonder what it's like to eat Alpo while watching Mad Max. Long story short. So would you eat cat food?
Man, crazy things you did in college, huh?
I mean, that was probably the craziest. That's how fucking wild that was. You know, everyone else out is like partying and like kissing girls or whatever. And I
Yeah,
ate
you were
cat
sword.
food.
You were sword
dog
fighting
food, excuse me.
regional champion too.
Yeah. Well, I mean fencing, but you know, whatever. Yeah, one time I ate dog food. That was cool. I fell out of a big tree once, Adam. That was probably the highlight of my college experience. You ever fall out of a big? You ever fall out of a big tree?
But I can remember.
All right.
I think
Must
you
have been
would.
a big
I think
tree.
you would remember.
Things like
lots-
that happen to me
unless-
often.
Unless you
Yeah.
hit yourself very hard.
I like climbing trees, and sometimes when you climb, you fall down. And what do you do when you fall down, Adam? That's right, you don't climb trees anymore. Lost Media 21. Okay, question for Adam. I was going to keep it as short as I can, but as junior in high school, I really want to do something in the FD world. Just the passion I have. This thing is something I can't put into words. feel you, Lost Media. As college is chugging at me and Asian parents wanting me to do other things, what are some life/drifting tips you can share with me? And on a more serious note, can I be your umbrella girl in FD Seattle?
Life/drifting tips.
Yeah, the essential life/drifting tips if you want to do something in the FD world. I guess he hasn't specified he necessarily wants to drive, but yeah, I don't know.
The best thing to do is get your foot in the door, help out a team, and try to get on track, even if it's in smaller events first. Get an understanding of the climate that you're getting into, make friends, network. Everyone's nice. Like I've never met a mean person in drifting, especially if you want to go help someone. I'm sure they'll happily take your help. There's a lot of ways to get your foot in the door, but just kind of befriend a team, a local team, see what you can do to help. And then what was the last question about it?
Can he be your umbrella girl in FD Seattle?
Oh yeah, no, I'm good. Actually, no,
Okay.
it's raining though all the time there, so it'd probably be more useful than anything.
Yeah, exactly. You'd actually have a functional umbrella girl or
Yeah.
boy in this sense.
Imagine
or
if they made
person.
all the tire umbrella girls like not do it for photos and stuff, but like actually as like
functional
a
umbrellas.
Yeah, like a functional umbrella when it's raining.
I've seen that a couple times before on the Vaughn team circuit of like the nice Niddle girls like holding the umbrella over the open window that had no covering in it.
That's funny.
And also, and the answer to this question that we've seen some form of on the show a lot is look at the Dylan Hughes model, and I think that's a good way. He did a good job. He was joined in on Forsberg's team, was a very talented fabricator, was doing the pre-pro-am. He was doing the just one step above base grassroots competition style drifting, and then look where he is today. He's doing great. Or just do what Adam did. Very easy path to follow. Right.
I got a question. This is actually from chat, Adam. This is from Caesar Lewis, Resin Oglar, and then Sam Houston. And I'm just curious. They said, Adam, this is the biggest waste of your time. It doesn't look like Adam wants to be here. How do you feel about people just caring so much about your time?
That fucking kicks ass.
I appreciate that people care about my time because
Isn't that nice?
It's annoying when people don't care about your time.
Shit.
I'm not talking about you guys,
Oh.
but like some people just don't understand, and like it sucks when someone will ask me for 2 hours for this or for that, and like don't have an understanding of how strapped I am already for time, or like how much I'm constantly trying to juggle. And then like if someone asks something that's like clearly a no, then they don't understand it, and they don't. I'm trying to think of how to put this, but like it sucks to have to explain to that person and like sound like a bad guy, where it's like really cool when someone respects your time, and if they do have a question or need something, they like keep it succinct and like show that they value your time when they ask or whatever they need.
No, I
hope
can't
that's coming
tell
across the right way.
I can't tell if you're being complimentary to us or doing a low jab at us. But don't answer it. It's fine. It's fine. Don't even worry about it.
Doesn't have anything to do with you.
Thank you.
Thanks, Adam.
No, but I
That's
mean,
we
it
appreciate
is
that.
true.
That's
because
exactly what he would say if it did have to do with us. Though.
That's one of the things. Running this show for a few years now, we understand like we have to work with a time where the drivers are available.
Do we though? Sometimes we go for 3-hour shows, and I did say, hey, let's get Adam out of here in an hour and a half, and actually we're doing pretty good on that right now. What's I think
there's 4 or 6 more super chat questions.
Jesus, Adam.
So real quick. Well, they want to give Adam LC's air conditioning. So look at him. He's sweating.
Let's hit him. Let's hit him.
Get this
He's
boy.
not sweating. He's doing
shiny.
great. He looks perfectly cool.
Ben Tranter, there's a hole in me. I need filled. A hole only Pat Gooding can fill. I need more Pat Gooding in me. I've seen Pat on your videos all the time. Like, is he crewing with you?
Is Pat still hanging?
Is Pat living in the compound?
He's not living at the compound, but we're actually closer to where he lives now than our old shop. And I never know when Pat's gonna be around, but sometimes I'll hear that familiar voice on the other side of the office door. I'm like, Pat's here.
Hey.
Go out, hang out, and drink a couple twisted teas. Joke around.
Yeah.
I would like him to live in your compound if you can.
I think that's a conversation to have with Pat.
Can you adopt
I
him?
don't know that he wants that. I don't think he wants that.
I don't know. I think
I'll talk to Pat and we'll see if we can work it out. I'll let you know.
All right.
Jordan Milley. Ask Adam, when can we expect more Tommy Mac Evo content, and what are the build plans? Thanks.
Yeah, so I built my white Evo way too fast to where everyone that knows that car is always scared for me to drive it because it's like 5 seconds on a minute lap track. It's like 5 seconds faster than my GT3 RS, and it's just
Jesus.
like a uncaged 2,600 pound like Japanese car.
Yeah.
It's terrifying. So I bought a caged one to build that because I didn't want to ruin that car by caging it because it just was such a fun street car.
Yeah.
And then I just ran out of time. But eventually I still want to build that car and I still have all the plans for it. It's just going to be like a, like 10,000 RPM, 2.2 dry sump. Like,
Well, I'm glad you're at least listening to your friends that say don't drive this thing because that does
Yeah.
sound like a goddamn monster I'm
Awesome.
sure that it's balanced and an awesome and fast car, but boy, that sounds really fast to have like in a 20-year-old wild ass
no
budget.
harnesses, just one
Y-
stock seatbelt.
Oh,
and
come on,
stock
man.
seats.
Come on, man. And does that
No
what
ABS.
Evo, yeah, what Evo number is it again?
It's an Evo 5.
Does that have the active yaw controls? It's got like some form of oh, fuck yeah. All right, cool. As long as we're getting rid of all sort of stability control in this thing, then
Yeah. Oh
perfect.
yeah. No, it's all tubular subframes, race
Okay.
car shit. Like it's rad.
Well, as long as you're keeping it unsafe, that's cool.
Two more. Ryan
Yeah, hit us.
7974. Cletus has a drift night. All you guys should go, and when we getting a lizard shirt made. I guess everybody should go to Cletus's drift night. And when are we getting a lizard shirt made?
Yeah. So Deanna was calling my fans lizards. Yeah. The fans weren't too stoked about that. So
Yeah.
I can imagine.
The conspiracy theory is like,
probably not gonna make a lizard shirt.
You don't want to embrace that,
actually,
yeah.
He actually called me after because I'm guessing he probably got some flack from it or like some
Mm.
people were upset and he was like, "Hey man, I just want you to know, like, I didn't mean anything bad by it. Like, do you care?" I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't care. It doesn't offend me, but like it's clear that it's upsetting some people and like
Yeah.
I guess I get it. It's not like I wouldn't want to be called a lizard, but like
Unless you're really into lizards.
yeah. So
But
probably
no, you can't.
probably no lizard merch.
As you've said on the show previously, it's like you have a very, I like the relationship you've established with your following in that you kind of let them be them and you don't really interfere in their Zeitgeist, for lack of a better term, their whole thing that they do. But also you are a nice translator for them. It's like when I was making goofs on you, and like the first time you're on the show, I think this is your third now, but it's like, and then they were not into it, and then but they were still nowhere near like the Mad Mike fans who were sending me
the entire country in New Zealand
not
was hating
not
you.
true death threats, but New Zealand style death threats. Which what do they got, right? No, just kidding. New Zealand, you're wonderful, and I'm very sorry for that. But no, yeah, I like the rapport you've established, and obviously there's a lot of them in the chat that say lots of stuff, and they're there and they're active. But you're a good mediator that is an inact. You're not a helicopter parent. You're that parent that's like, yep, that's my kid over there eating sand in the play box. But hey, he's got to learn sometime.
Yeah,
Sand tastes good.
Just while the chat's being mentioned, a lot of people always bring that up and stuff like that. And I just want to put this out there that a lot of the people that are saying that they're my fans and like saying some real inappropriate stuff,
Yeah.
or like there are a lot of people trolling, pretending to be a fan of mine that is not
Absolutely.
a fan of mine, and hopefully anyone with a brain can see that. But it sucks because it gives a bad rep and a bad taste in people's mouth for my actual fan base that's extremely supportive, mature individuals that like, yeah, some are new to drifting and want to know, but like there's a lot of people in there that are just trolling away and getting a kick out of pissing people off pretending to be my fan.
Yeah, I think it's probably easy to blend into that crowd and try to inflame for no good reason. But that's the YouTube chat, so that's why it's like whenever I have ventured the modern day LZ fan filled YouTube chat, and I see, you know, there's the one side that is saying when Adam go, and the other side is saying, oh boy, I missed the old way. But it's like this has always been a cancerous, awful place of the internet. There was never a good time in the Formula Drift YouTube chat. So it's just one thing after the other, and it's so easy, guys. All you have to do is hide chat, and then you don't
gotta
have to
realize,
do.
too, FD used to feed into it. I don't know if they do anymore, but I mean,
Yes.
Oh
I
yeah.
they'd be commenting back rigged to people that are saying rigged, like spelling it out and like really egging on these people
Yeah.
that are already all like antsed up, and that's what you create. And
Yeah.
you know, like you said, like it's funny and entertaining to read through, but for people that do want to have an intelligent conversation, YouTube comments is not the place.
There.
No,
And-
it's for Maximum Driftcast where we have only intelligent conversations. Am I right, chat?
Yeah. And speaking of intelligent conversation and questions, the last super chat questions from Freddie.
Yeah, hit
Which, by
us.
the way, I think it's from
Frederick
Norway.
Osbo.
It just says Freddie, and he sent us 50 Norwegian krones, which is like $2. He says, "LZ run yet?" Asking for a friend.
Yes, that.
There it is.
That's
That's gonna be turning that's gonna replace Forsberg gets the win.
Yes, it
is
will.
LZ ran yet. So you've created your legacy in Formula Drift forever, Adam.
Is,
And
is that the best? Is that the best way to end the show, or the worst way? And I like that Adam's response is, well, all things considered, and all things not considered, because it always feels like too short of a convo with you. And we fucking respect your time, Adam. And I don't appreciate that jab that you made at us. I know it's kind of underhanded on your side of saying like, boy, I really hate it when people don't respect my time, but like. We respect the shit out of your time, which is why we've only kept you on the show like at least a half an hour to an hour later than we initially intended to. But from here, we will respect your time, and we greatly appreciate you taking the time that you spent with us here. And it is very exciting to see you progress on and on in this wild world of drifting. And I think we're going to see you on the podium very soon, and I hope we
Great.
do.
Cool. I appreciate it, and thank you for having me on.
Go to bed,
Adam,
buddy.
Good luck.
Yeah.
Have fun out in Orlando, man. We'll be rooting for you, dude.
Yeah, kick some
Yeah.
ass, man.
Sounds good. Thank you guys. Have a
All
good
right,
night.
brother.
Thank
You
you.
too,
man.
Have a good one.
Gotcha.
Bye. Is he still there?
Yeah, of course he's still here.
Oh.
Take it easy.
There you go.
Man, all right. Now it's just you and me and Paco and Corey, LZ fans in chat. What the fuck's up? You guys chill? Are we gonna be cool?
When is LZ on?
Is LZ on next? Yeah, actually, he will be on next. LZ, Adam
will
has
be coming
agreed.
up soon, guys.
He's agreed to be on the show every week. He said he's got an abundance of free time, and he just wants to hang out and just be a part of the show every week. You know, it's a moneymaker. Obviously, Adam, being a business enterprising man, has realized that the opportunity he can hop on here. We're going to the moon, guys. We're the
To the moon.
GameStop. I don't want to say we're the GameStop of podcasts, guys. That was
The
that was
Dogecoin
nice.
of podcast.
I'm always surprised that when I get to talk to Adam, that he's always such a different character than I assume. Even though we've talked to him 2 times before, he's disarming when he in his casual. Fuck, I don't even know how to describe him. Corey, you describe him. He's a interesting, awesome, smart, but like weird guy to talk to because he is so dialed. It's confusing for me.
I think somebody like Adam always has something going on. He's always thinking about 3 other things, 5
Yeah.
other things, 10 other things. So it's hard to.
It's big Vaughn energy in that sense.
It is. It's like, we dealt obviously like we dealt with Vaughn. We've dealt with a lot of people that have had multiple things going at one time, and that's what happens. Usually, those people that can juggle 10 hats are the ones that are usually thinking about many other things, as well as hanging out with us, being on the podcast to slip us into that window is obviously is awesome. But hey, you run an FD program, you got a new shop, you have cars to maintain, you're doing giveaways, you got merch, you got a part site going up, you have redevelopment of property. It's like, hey, it's what happens when you get busy, dude. And that's what he is. So I'm sure there's a lot on plate, a lot on his mind, and hasn't affected his performance in FD, even though all those things are going on. Obviously, finishing 8th is pretty incredible feat. And what I hope by this is I hope people look at Adam and like really see what he does for the sport of drifting as a whole. I hope people see also the other drifters that's been around drifting for a long time, right?
Yep.
And shows that, and this is what I was talking about earlier, is creating something for yourself and using your brand to propel your program into the future. And, self-worth, self-made, the hustle and the grind. Adam's done it. He's been doing it forever, and look what he's able to accomplish.
Can you imagine if he was shittier?
What do you
Like, I'm not saying he's shitty at all. I'm just saying, can you imagine if he had the audience and he had the following and he came into FD and fucked off completely and like didn't take it seriously and like did any number of the things that he isn't doing now, or like, just was anything other than kind of what he is doing now, which is being a contemplative and focused kind of new ambassador to the sport with a new audience. Can you imagine if he was anything less than that? Like it would be awful, because he has brought let's assume that he's still bringing a whole huge audience to FD, but he's like literally every other YouTube streamer that I've ever, not YouTube streamer, YouTube content creator that is notable in the world, that are by and large shitheads. Like I mean this wholeheartedly. I have not really seen a tolerable quote unquote YouTuber in any of the travels, and Adam is like the only one that I think is like this heartfelt, legitimate dude that I would follow. But yeah, we're lucky to have someone of that mental fortitude and caliber in the sport, I think.
Absolutely.
Drifting's
Is that why people call me a simp? Is that why people call me a simp?
Because you are a simp.
Yeah, yeah. Like the Finch in chat has said, like the Jake Paul of drifting. Exactly. I think that's what I was hinting at. Was like, can you imagine if we had a Jake Paul drift situation here? Like, I'm just glad that he has come with the approach that he has instead of that.
Yeah, and I mean, I think like a lot of people, like I even saw it on our questions on the Instagram today. A lot of people still has like oh, I hate Adam, like. They don't even know why. There's like just this premise that they think that, oh, he's in FD just because he's a YouTuber. Where in reality, it's proven that he can actually drive, that he actually can be competitive, and they just ignore it. They're like, oh, I don't care. I don't want to watch. I'm not gonna pay attention. Now, you don't have to watch his YouTube channel. You can just watch him on FD, and that's enough support. Like. It's I think like a lot of people are sleeping on not only on Adam, but like on a lot of other drivers.
Look at you, Dad, saying these young guy Gen X, is that the one? A lot of people sleeping on these other drivers, fam.
I'm just trying to stay.
People in chat are naming a bunch of other legit driver or YouTube people, and yeah, there's definitely more. But this is like I think new territory for FD that's happening.
Yeah.
Also, Matt Field in chat saying, "Hey, what is that supposed to mean, Sam?" And Matt Field, I'd say, is probably the biggest simp of all drifters. And I don't know what that means, Matt. I'm sorry, Matt. Did you win the finals?
He did.
You let us know.
Ooh.
You let us know on the next show. No, I'm not saying that in like a cruel way. I want to hear his.
Yeah.
I want to hear his take.
We should
But
probably have him soon.
Yeah, we'll talk about that on the show. Absolutely. Corey, any other big Corey energy and news for us before we send it off into the night? Paco, feel free to step in.
I bought a scooter.
What the fuck?
I bought a scooter.
A Vespa? Or like
No, it's a 1986 Honda Elite.
Honda Elite?
Yeah, pop-up headlights and everything.
Are you going to be one of them like leftist elitists now?
Yeah.
Paco? You're going to... Oh. Okay, wait, hold on. A scooter with a pop-up headlight? Corey's
Yeah.
frowning.
No, I'm just looking at it.
Well, how does that make you feel? Is that got streak low?
You know what?
Cool.
Yeah.
Corey?
It's sick.
I think that's awesome, because I'd definitely get one. But to get back to drifting stuff real quick before we go on tangents,
Ben Trenter just said
I think we should do another cap on Atlanta at some point. Not today.
Yes.
We need to do
Not
another
today,
recap
Jesus.
on Atlanta, because I see Matt Field in here, and Matt Field been doing CrossFit.
No, hold on. Ben Tranter did say that not sure that's a real account, so we might be getting double fucking trolled. They heard Adam LZ say that they're doing interchangeable turbos, and I fucking fell for it. So now I think that all these people in chat just think they can get away with making fun of me, guys, and I don't appreciate that.
Even if it's not Matt Field, he's acting just like him. He
we'll
called
just
us
assume that it's
dorks, and
Matt Field would say that.
yeah, exactly. So it's fine.
That's close enough. Yeah, that's fair.
Yeah.
But yes, I would love to do a more thorough breakdown of the round. I don't know. I really
There's
want
so
to
much
talk
stuff
to
that we
Jeff.
didn't talk about. We didn't even talk about Rome Carpente's big antenna. We didn't talk about Chris Forsberg
Yes,
going
yes,
out in
yes,
top
yes.
32. We didn't talk about all the stuff. So it deserves it. I would also like to talk
Yeah.
to Jeff Jones and Matt Field, hopefully before Orlando, if we can get them.
Dude, that's fucking
It's
next weekend.
week.
What the
That's
hell?
next week. I know.
Let's jump on it right now.
Jump on it.
We could do it Monday. We could do it Monday.
Yeah, well, we're gonna do a Jay Jones pretty soon here, and then we'll see what the other boys have to say. But we could also do a thorough breakdown with any of those boys. Anyways, but let's wrap her up. We're gonna be here again for you more than once every few months because drifting's back on, baby. And thank you all for joining us tonight. If you are new and you're brought here by the LZ, we appreciate you coming, and we'll let you know if Adam is going to be on soon. Coming up soon. Is that what you say in the chat? When is Adam run? He'll be running soon.
Yep.
Yeah, thank you guys for following and subscribing to the channel. It means a lot. Adam, once again, thank you for being a part of the show. Paco, Sam, we will be back. Let's do next week. Let's see if we can get hold of Matt Field or Jeff Jones, get the both, or maybe an Odie. Try to do a three-peat before Orlando. A lot of drifting coming up. A lot of good shit happening, guys. Drifting is back. Driftcast is back.
We're back.
I'm gonna be doing some IRL drifting. I know we can touch on this. I'm gonna do some drifting. I'm gonna go to Connecticut. So if you guys are near the Connecticut area, come out to Ignition Festival of Speed. I'll be out there with the boss.
Nice.
I'm doing Fuel Fest with Cody Walker and Tyrese out in
Cody kicks
Irwindale.
ass.
Yep, so I'll be out there.
Worked with them recently.
Tyrese?
That dude rips.
Yeah.
Yep. And then I will be at Grid Life Colorado with the guys. Obviously follow us on social media, Maximum Driftcast on Instagram. Shutter Slayer has been providing a lot of great photos. So if you guys haven't had that, check that out. Head over to our Instagram, check out Shutter Slayer.
Are you
Our
driving at Grid Life Alpine?
Yes.
Ooh,
nice.
I'm flying from out of country that Friday, and I was like, can I make it? But now that I know that the fucking boss man is
partying.
going to be
We're
there,
partying.
that
We're
changes
partying.
things maybe.
Yeah, we're partying.
Oof.
We're going.
Oof.
We're going all in. So
Nice.
other than that,
Fine.
Yeah.
Have to thank our
Let's talk about-
Patreons.
yeah.
Yep.
Patreons,
Thank you,
thank you
boys
guys.
and
I mean,
girls.
after all this time, you guys are still here, and it's because of you that we are capable of
Well,
doing.
don't worry.
the
They
show.
forgot that they were Patreons, and then you clicked the you don't give Patreon support unless we make an episode. So then once we came back and made an episode, they're like, oh shit, I'm still paying for this, and then they canceled. I'm sure.
A lot
no
of
doubt.
cancellations as soon as we came back.
Yeah, of course, perfect. Yeah, we appreciate you guys listening, and yeah, we will see you next week, next Tuesday, next Wednesday.
I'm
or
going to
Thursday.
drop my chat. I'm going to drop my Twitch chat in there.
Oh yeah, please do.
So if you
Please
guys
do.
want to see any of the live streams from Grid Life for Sam and Paco, myself usually attend, or Ignition Speed Festival, or Sam, hopefully if I see you at Fuel Fest, Sam will be there with us, but we'll be live streaming most of the automotive content there as well. So guys, thank you so much. Sam, Paco,
Thank you so much, Corey.
Corey,
Everybody have a
Paco.
good night.
let's go to
Chat.
space.
And we'll send off. Good night.